Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Xoxo, this is Xoxo Tarot, and in today's Pick a Hello Kitty character reading, we are going to be looking at what you need to know / kind of predictions for the next 3 months. So this reading is going to be pretty straightforward. Essentially what we're going to be doing is, instead of picking a tarot deck, I'm having you pick your oracle deck this time, and we're going to be pulling tarot and oracle for each month, each of the next upcoming months. And I should mention this is timeless, so it's not 3 months from when I've uploaded it, it's 3 months, the next 3 months of when you see it. So you could watch this 2 years in the future, and it's about the next 3 months as you 2 years in the future, which is now for you. Anyway, what we're going to be doing is using the tarot to look at what is happening that month, the overall theme or overall energy, or just the most significant aspect of it the universe wants you to know about. And then we're going to use the oracle deck that you chose to get guidance and clarification for what the tarot is talking about for that month. And then after we've looked at each month more in depth, we're going to pull a card from a specific deck, asking what the deeper purpose of this time is. If there's like a deeper lesson or a deeper opportunity for growth, or just something happening subtly that you may not be aware of. And then we are going to finish off with charms. And how we're going to be using the charms is a tool to see signs that might be significant in the upcoming future. We're also going to use it, I'm going to use it as a tool to just get random messages, random things that might be happening, things that weren't picked up in the cards, things like that. So that is what we are going to be covering today. And we have 4 different oracle decks for you to choose from, and 4 cute little Sanrio characters for you to choose from. So starting with group number 1, we are going to be using the Wisdom of the Oracle, and I have this little Hello Kitty on top. And then for group number 2, we are going to be using the Kosmos Oracle Metamorphosis edition, and I have this squishy Pompompurin on top. Then for group number 3, we are going to be using the Glow Oracle, and I have this little Keroppi on top. And then finally for group number 4, we have the Moon Witch Oracle, and I have Kuromi on top. And this tiny piece of something to cover up the naked lady on the back of it, which is unfortunate because it's a wonderful drawing, but I guess YouTube believes that your virgin eyes can't handle it, and I'm not going to fight my corporate overlords. So with that being said, go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to for this reading. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. Maybe there are multiple messages. I get it could be kind of hard to pick based on cute characters, so if you want to pick not based on that, then I would pick based on which deck you're most drawn to. And a specific thing that I'm getting as well is, if you want to pick a specific group because it's your favorite character or because you like it, but you feel drawn to a different one, pick the one you feel drawn to first and see if that sounds right for you. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and make a wish now, and we are using the star candle. I'm not going to lie, I think the star candle is my favorite candle out of all of the candles that we have, and with my candle line with Angelic Magic 888. The star tarot card is all about hope, faith, healing, positivity. It's one of the lightest and brightest cards that you can get in the deck, and I don't know about y'all, but I've been going through it a little bit, and I could really use some star energy in my life. So hopefully you guys agree and feel the same. But if you don't know, all my tarot candles come with a mini tarot card inside. So based on what that mini tarot card is, that will be our mini reading, and we will make a wish. And the star also comes with a unique star crystal in it. And I actually have no clue what this star crystal is. It looks like some sort of granite, if I'm being honest, but if you know, maybe tell me. It looks like there's a little bit of carnelian in there, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna move this guy to the side, and as you can see, the Justice card is here for our mini reading. But let's go ahead now and start by making our wish. So if you want to pause the video and just focus on the candle and focus on your wish, feel free to do that. I'm just going to take a second to focus on my wish. May yours, mine, and all of our wishes come true. I wish you guys could smell this candle because it's my favorite scent. I think it's Egyptian amber and something else. But if you're not interested in the star candle, but you still want to support angelic magic 888, or you still want to get a candle, the Archangel Metatron candle is the same scent and it just smells so good. So, and you can also get any candles on her site with 10% off using my code ISO10. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at your mini message. So we have Justice here, and I really like to see this. I feel like this is, there's a lot coming through. Number one, I feel like things are balancing out. If you have been really struggling with being on like one end of operating, like for example, let's say you've been really stuck in like negative thought patterns and negative habits, it seems like that is something that is going to be balancing out in the near future. I guess we will look and see. Or if you have been really on top of things and almost hyper focused and hyper vigilant on productivity or something like that, it seems like things could be balancing out in a way where you're giving yourself more time, more rest. With the Justice card being here, I do feel like this is a positive sign in general that things are working out in your favor in the near future. If you have anything court related, this could also be a positive sign that things are improving or things are working out. I'm not a lawyer and don't read for those things, so I can't tell you anything specifically for sure, but it does seem like things will be working out, or at the very least, things will be in alignment with justice. Like they will be, the just outcome will occur. But on a broader level, I do feel like if you are struggling with a decision or struggling with something, with an action that you need to take, or figuring out how to approach something that's been on your mind, the guidance here would be to make sure that whatever you do, it's in alignment with your values and your integrity, and to also make sure it's a balanced and fair approach. This is definitely not a card that's about leading with your emotions. It's definitely about leading with not necessarily logic, but I guess your own logic, your own code, what's balanced, what's fair. I guess you could say the approach is a bit more cerebral because it's about thinking about, you know, what truly matters to you and what you think, I guess, or feel is just. But there's definitely a call here to not pick anything too extreme in terms of how you make choices or make decisions. Like if there's a happy medium, I feel like you're being called to choose that first and foremost. But I also can just see here, like the biggest thing is that things are balancing out for you. And I think as well, this could be a beautiful sign for partnerships as well. If you are getting married in the near future, or like if you are seeing someone, you could be having a deeper commitment with them. If you have a relationship that's ending, it seems like things could be ending in a just way, or in a way that you would already know that. I'm not saying that that is happening to you. It seems like things will be fair and balanced. I can definitely see, no matter what as well, what you put in is what you receive in the next few months. And also, I feel like there is this element here as well where you're really needing to trust that you have a solid compass of, like, you have a solid understanding of your integrity, or if you don't, like, you can trust yourself to act on that. I feel like there is this holding yourself accountable energy in a way where it's not unfair to yourself, and I feel like that is something that you are learning or stepping into in the near future, or just refining that, because it can be easy to get detached from that. But more than anything, things should be balancing out. And if you've been in some really intense emotional cycles, it seems like that could be dissipating a little bit, and you could be more clear-headed and just more balanced, and it might be a little bit easier to just live your daily life without stressors and things like that. So those are all my interpretations, but I do want you to know, if you have any interpretations that I did not say, but that called to you immediately, like, please take those as truth for you. There's a reason why your intuition called out to you like that, so trust that. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into the real reading now. But intro squad, let me know what your favorite Hello Kitty character is, or if you're not really into Hello Kitty, let me know what your favorite franchise is and character from it. I would love to hear that. That would make me very happy. Thank you to everyone who does that. Thank you, intro squad, for being here. But let's go ahead and get into the reading now. So thank you guys so much for being here, for letting me read for you, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose this cute little Hello Kitty and the wisdom of the oracle, this is going to be your reading on what is happening the next 3 months. So if you'd like a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro. Just to simplify things, I pre-shuffled the oracles, which I have to do anyway for some other groups because there's nudity in them, and I have to make sure that that is censored before I show the cards. But anyway, welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to go ahead and start by shuffling your tarot, which I picked. I believe this is the Age of Aquarius Tarot, but I really like it. I think it's a beautiful deck. Give it one more good shuffle. And as for reversals, if a card comes out reversed, I'm not intentionally shuffling for reversals, but if a card comes out reversed, I will take it. Okay. So, month 1 for Pile 1. The next upcoming month for Pile 1, please. What is happening this month? What are the main themes and overall energies of the first next month for Pile 1, please? First next month. Okay, so we have month 1, oracle 1. Okay, what about the second next month? Okay, so we have 2 coming out for that. I don't know if you saw them, but I did not look. So we got month 2, and then finally month 3. What is happening the next month? The third next month. What is happening in month 3 for Pile 1? What is happening in month 3? Okay. I do want to start out by noting that your cards took a while to come out. So I feel like whatever change is happening, it's a long time coming. And actually, I held on to the back of the deck. I didn't plan to do this, but I think I am. The back of the deck energies are both death and a change in the wind. So I feel like these next 3 months are actually very significant. They're either setting you up for a massive change, or you are in the throes of massive change. I know the death card can be scary, but I always see it as a sweet release from what is. And the fact that we have transmutation, transformation, endings, and a change in the wind, I definitely think that there is massive significant change coming your way, and endings don't necessarily have to be bad. Like, endings lead to new beginnings. So let's go ahead and start by looking at what the next month has in store for you. So I guess timing wise, this is timeless, so it's meant for you whenever you see it, not when I posted it. So month 1 represents the next upcoming month. So we're in September right now, so this would be October theoretically if you're watching when I uploaded, but whatever month you're in, it's the next month. So for your next month, we have the 4 of Cups, contemplation, apathy, introspection, and we have mending. Okay, let me make sure those are in the frame. So with these energies here, I feel like the next month is going to be a time of regeneration and a time of tying up loose ends. The fact that we have the Four of Cups here, this can often indicate boredom and apathy. And it can also be a card that represents not seeing an option that's right in front of you. If there is something that is weighing on you emotionally, or something that an issue that you have been mulling over for quite some time, I feel like that issue is coming to the forefront in the next month. I do feel like there is a level of healing happening. The fact that we have mending here, the next month is all about healing, and healing in ways that are unique to you. So, what healing is for someone else may not be for you. But one thing that I do think is healing is maybe your connection to your own understanding of what's possible. I feel like there is self-forgiveness here, I think is a big theme of this mending energy, where I feel like this next upcoming month is a lot about really taking a step back and being like, okay, what is going on in my subconscious that I'm not dealing with? And how is it manifesting in my 3D reality? So, one of those things, I'm thinking of the quote from The Sopranos, depression is rage turned inward, and which is such a mood. But I feel like there could be internal aspects that you're not acknowledging, that are creating a lot of apathy in your external world. And I feel like this next month is about really dealing with that. In fact, you might even resonate with feeling that way already, and feeling like, yeah, like I've been in this place where I feel stuck, or I feel bored, or I feel lost, or, I have this issue that I've been like trying to understand or work through, but it just seems like I can't find a solution, or nothing feels right. And so I feel like you're going to be naturally drawn to whatever healing work you need to do. And that may require some research on your part, but like you could hear through word of mouth, like a type of healing, or you could hear about like a class that's about relating. I do feel like for some of you, this Four of Cups could be related to relationships, not necessarily romantic, but any kind. If you have someone special in your life that maybe you haven't been on the greatest of terms with, it's quite possible that you could be doing the healing necessary to reconcile with them, or starting that process of reconciliation with them. It could be something that brings more magic into your life. But I do see here that the next upcoming month is one where, it's not the most fun month, but it's necessary. It's like, a spring clean out where nobody wants to be spring cleaning unless you're Danny Tanner from Full House, but it's definitely necessary. And I can see that you may be weighed down by things that you didn't even realize were there, and there may be solutions that you didn't know were available to you. It's quite possible that someone else could be reaching out to you and starting that process. I definitely think no matter what, though, there is an element of self-forgiveness here, where I think that you hopefully will be shifting into more compassion when you reflect on how you got to where you are in the first place. Whether it's your life in general or certain situations. And I think that you're going to be really asking yourself, what's the root of these energies? What is the root of these experiences? And what's holding me back from making life more fun again? What's holding me back from opening up to connection again? And so, like, for example, if you had a falling out with a friend, and, that this might be something that's really been hard on you. And so this next upcoming month, it's like thinking about, okay, what healing do I need to do internally? And through that internal healing, okay, do I feel I want to open up a bridge for mending? Do I feel I want to, for my own healing, like take a step back and head in a different direction? I feel like there's just a lot of opportunity, and it's going to heavily depend on who you are and what works for you, where you have the opportunity to step out of what your experience has been, and step out of disconnection from yourself. Now, I think the hard thing is that the way in which you're going to be motivated to do more internal work, the way in which you're going to be motivated to change things, especially if you're attached to the status quo, is the status quo will no longer work for you. You won't get you won't feel drawn to it. It won't feel right. It won't feel good. And I feel like there will just be kind of this natural process of not being repulsed, but at the very least not being drawn towards what you typically are, and leading to a lot of questioning and uncertainty within you that actually leads to greater awareness and, oh, this part of me is feeling really vulnerable and is not wanting to connect, or, oh, there's a part of me that is very, very tired and is not being listened to, and as a result, I can't really get anything done because I didn't even realize how exhausted I was. Or there's so many things that can be uncovered through this process. But what I really think is happening is you're healing disassociation from yourself and your truth, and also having the opportunity to heal any rifts between you and others, and those others may be the ones to reach out, but if you feel called to do so, I think that can be something that's quite powerful. It really just depends on who the person is, how healthy the relationship is, and things like that, but you can trust yourself to know that you're making those best decisions for yourself. But let's go ahead and see what month 2 is all about. Yeah, so month 2. Wow, okay, we have the Tower, Epiphany, Unexpected Change, Breakaway, hello Kelly Clarkson, and we have the Nine of Pearls, Luxury, Independence, Enlightenment. Okay, and the clarifier is TikTok. Okay, wow, so intense change in the next month. I really don't want you to be scared of this Tower, especially because I think it is important to pay attention to the images and tarot decks because they can be so different. This Tower is not falling. It's not crumbling. I mean, let me look closer. I mean, macular degeneration could be a thing for me. I don't know. But yeah, I don't see this Tower falling. I don't see this Tower crumbling. This is an intense shift that, number one, is not created by you, but is instigated by the outside world. This shift could have something to do with finances. I mean, the fact that we have the Nine of Pearls, which is the Nine of Pentacles, is all about abundance, self-sufficiency, sustaining yourself. But I think month 2 is really about breaking away from this energy that we see in month 1. And I think the universe is going to do things that help you do that. So like, for example, some of you could be getting a raise, or some of you could be getting an opportunity to go on a vacation, or getting a promotion, or getting the answer that you needed to know, like, if you can make a change. For some of you, you might be getting like approval for some type of loan that could be helpful for you. But this also could have to do with relationships, because we have the Tower, and the Nine of Pentacles is a very independent card. And I feel like in your case, you could be getting set up for a particular relationship type situation. If you're seeing someone, you could be meeting someone, or if you're seeing someone, you could be well, I can't talk. You could be meeting someone, or someone that you are seeing has a quite profound impact on you, or there's a significant change between the two of you that changes your independence. However, and this is going to be very specific, so you'll know if this message is for you or not. If you are already in a relationship where you feel like things are not going well, where you're trying to mend things and you go through this month 1 and like things are not being mended, if things are getting worse or things are not changing, it might be that there is some sort of event in month 2 that solidifies to you, okay, this is not a sustainable situation, and I value myself more than I value, staying stuck in this situation, and that allows you to break away or move into a different direction. I definitely see, though, whatever this change is, like, I feel like for a lot of you guys, there's a lot of tension and stress and fear around it, but I'm feeling really called to say to not be afraid, because even if it's shocking, I feel like it will be a relief. And you know how sometimes things that you're afraid of, or like things that you're worried about, you realize they're not as bad when they happen, or you realize like the value of them in hindsight? I definitely feel like there is that case there. But also this profound, significant change and shift could have to do with anything. But it's not instigated by you, it's instigated by the greater universe, especially with TikTok here. Like, there is this divine timing element here at play that is influencing how things unfold in month 2. It's kind of out of your control, but what it's leading to is greater stability, greater awareness, and a higher level of self-trust and a higher level of self-worth than you had the previous month. I can also see here as well, this tower moment might be something really surprising or something really empowering that you never expected or anticipated, but eventually becomes something that you look back on and you're like, wow, like there was me before this moment and me after this moment. And it could be something even small. It could be something someone says that like shifts your perspective in a way that's so profound you like can't go back, or something finally comes to fruition that you've been working towards for a long time, and now it's like, okay, I can step into a new level of sovereignty, a new level of independence, a new level of confidence, or step into this recognition of like, okay, I can head in a new direction. Like this thing is done. This thing has set me up. I definitely see that happening. Month 2 is about massive change that leads to greater independence, greater self-confidence, greater self-worth, and financial abundance, potentially, depending on your circumstances. I definitely think though, if you're not getting that, if you're not like cultivating that, you might be receiving that in some sort of way. There could be something that happens that allows you to come into more wealth. But I can definitely see that month 2 is a progression of month 1 in the sense that there's some independent energy here. It seems like month 2 you might be a little more isolated than you are in month 1. We don't know about month 3, but you know, with month 1, you know, we see 2 figures in this card. So I do think that you could be interacting more with people in month 1 versus month 2. It seems like there could be a shift that happens, a change that happens outside of your control that really makes you, one, liberated in some sort of way, where you're like, okay, I can head in this direction. Okay, I'm seeing clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. It's like something happens in the perfect time, in the perfect way, that leads you to a greater sense of awareness about where you need to go. It's going to make you feel a lot more secure in where you're at. And I think there's going to be a revelation of like, oh, I was not in as dire straits as I thought, or oh, I feel like there's going to be a shift in perspective where you realize where you've been hard on yourself or where you haven't been seeing things accurately, maybe because you were catastrophizing them or just unsure of like where everything was leading to. If you've had this question, where am I headed? What is this leading to? You're getting those answers in month 2. And they're happening in very serendipitous or chaotic or just ways that are outside of your control but are impossible to miss. And I feel like I said, this is not a tower crumbling. I feel like this is a tower that's getting a renovation, or like getting a change in weather that helps you see it differently. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but let's look at month 3. So for month 3, wow, okay, we have justice, the truth, reality, integrity, and we have soulmates. Okay, so this is really powerful. I definitely think that for some of you, by month 3, you could be meeting or entering a relationship with someone that you have a lot of feelings towards. I mean, the soulmates card is pretty significant. If you're not meeting someone, it could be that things are balancing out. Like if this is a progression between a significant person, it could be that there is mending that is happening in month 1, shifts happening in month 2 that are more about you and your own progress, but also they could have to do with them. Like there could be massive shifts between you and them, and then month 3 is leading to a greater sense of commitment, or if you are in the group where you're like feeling like you're ready to leave a situation, you could be having the confirmation that that was the right choice in month 3. You could be meeting someone that, you know, just fits the bill of everything you're looking for. But this soulmates card doesn't have to be romantic. It could be towards a new friendship, a rekindling of an old friendship, a rebalancing. This could even be like finding, it doesn't even have to be a person, like it could be finding the right job for you or finding the right like place for you to be. This is really significant because I feel like not only will any chaos that was created in month 2 be balanced out, but you're gonna have a beautiful support system holding you there. And there's also likely going to be a lot of excitement, because whoever is involved in this soulmate card is someone that is going to make you feel the same way you were feeling about yourself in month 2 in this Nine of Pentacles. This I am worthy, this I deserve, you know, you guys get what I'm saying. I hope you do at least. Nine of Pentacles energy knows their worth, knows their value, you know, does not need others to validate them. They march to the beat of their own drum. They are generous, but not too generous. They're smart, they're strategic, and they know what they're doing. There's also a gentleness with it, where it's like appreciating the finer things in life, appreciating your own beauty, the beauty in others, the beauty in situations. And I feel like this person is coming in to do that. Like, I feel like if you are with someone where you know that there's a lot, like if you're having hardship with someone that you're not thinking about leaving the relationship, but wondering, are things going to change? Yes, I do see that. I think that there could be powerful change in month 2. Maybe you guys choose to take a break, or maybe you guys choose, something happens that helps both of you realize like what's truly important, and then things balance out. Month 3, no matter what, you're finding what you've been called towards this whole time. You're understanding why the things that unfolded in month 1 and month 2 had to in order to get to month 3. Like with the Justice card being here, not only are you going to be seeing clearly, but whatever outcome does happen, you're going to be so grateful for it, and like, oh wow, the universe really had my back here. I'm okay. This is the frustrating thing about like predictions, is because they are, you know, in the future, and also this is a general reading, I can't know specifics, but please come back to this video and let me know what happens, because I'm very curious and I want to hear. But this is definitely a beautiful, beautiful balancing out of a lot of the chaotic cycles that you've been in, a lot of the uncertainty, a lot of the fear, a lot of the just influences that have been blocking you, influences that have been making you feel stuck. You are getting to the truth of them. And also you're understanding why certain things didn't work out, or why certain things were delayed, or why certain things just couldn't happen at a specific time. And it's because there was a greater divine timing at work. And I think that, you know, your individual process in these next 3 months has a lot to do with clearing out emotional baggage that doesn't need to be there anymore, and doing healing work that could be supportive. And you'll know what that is. And if you don't know what that is, I promise you'll be led to it. You might have to do a little bit of exploring, but sometimes like one of the most healing things we can just do is accept that we don't know what's going on or what needs to happen, and just go with the flow. You know, we don't have to figure out how to heal our bodies, like, you know, unless, is it hemophilia where you like can't get cuts or anything like that, because they can be really deadly and dangerous? Unless you have a situation like that, like the body can typically regenerate and heal itself without us thinking about it, right? When we sleep, that is a healing mechanism. So I do feel like some of this healing is not conscious and not proactive, but rather just flowing with what is and allowing time to work its magic. Time is actually a really interesting factor here, because there is timing that's outside of your control, but there may be confusion from your perspective around the timing, like feeling like you're behind, or feeling like something's wrong, or that something needs to change. And then by month 3, you're like, oh, everything was fine, and like I didn't need to worry about it. And like the answers you need are coming in month 3. The balance between people you care about is coming in month 3. The meeting the people that you are feeling drawn to is coming in month 3. And I feel like for some of you that could very well be the case, because the Nine of Pentacles is all about independence. It is a more independent energy, but like you could be meeting this person in month 2, and then, you know, entering a partnership in month 3, and like this doesn't have to be a romantic one. It could be a business partnership, or it could just be a balanced friendship, anything like that. You could literally, this could even relate to like finding a house or finding a place to live, where it's like, oh yeah, this is the right place for me to be. Like I feel a soul calling to this. I definitely think though that someone coming in is bringing keys to your future in a powerful way, where you are moving out of cycles that you've been ready to be done with for good. And like I feel really good about what's coming for you. I think stick out month 1, do the necessary work, because it's leading to powerful, powerful change. And beautiful balance, and honestly, just a lot more peace. Like, I feel like by month 3, there will not only be feelings of excitement, but feelings of peace and also feelings of confidence. And like, wow, I moved through that. And wow, it wasn't all on me to make it happen. Like, wow, the universe really set things up for me. Like, there's a lot happening in the background that you're not seeing. And I think that there is a reason for that. I think it's beneficial for you. But I want you to know that in month 3, you are getting the answers you're looking for. You are getting the awareness that you are looking for. And whatever those answers are, whether in the form of people, resolution, just truth hitting you, you're going to be so much clearer and so much more confident about where you're headed and what truly matters to you, what should be held on to, what should be let go of. And yeah, this is just really good, really, really positive energy that I like to see. Okay, so let's go ahead now and look at the deeper purpose of these next 3 months and just see what the universe has to say about that. So if you're enjoying this reading and you'd like to, thank you to everyone who takes the time to just leave me a little like. That is a super helpful way to support me and show appreciation for my channel. So thank you to everyone who does that. But yeah, I feel like more than anything, these next 3 months are really about liberation for you. Liberation, confirmation, exploration, and foundation. Those are your 4 Asians. And this exploration, I feel like, is not even, it could be domination. Like, that Nine of Pentacles is kind of giving me domination vibes, not in a bad way, but just like getting a handle of yourself in ways where you feel more confident and you feel like you can trust yourself to carry you where you need to go, and what isn't your responsibility. You're like, okay, the universe has me on this part. I can trust things. Things are definitely balancing out. Okay, so Spirit, what is the deeper purpose of this time period for pile 1, please? What is the deeper purpose of these next 3 months? What is happening, and what do they need to understand about why these things are unfolding the way that they are? Once again, it's like taking a while for the cards to come out. So I feel like this is a long time coming, and you might even be watching this like not believing me, which is fine. I'll let the universe do its work. I'm just a messenger. But don't give up on yourself. I feel like this big feeling of like, don't give up on yourself, don't give up on your goals. Like, even if it feels hard, you know, it's okay to take a break, it's okay to step back, but don't give up on what you're already working on, because it's leading you in a beautiful direction. Ooh, so we have communication. Okay, actually I'm gonna move this over to the side so that you guys can see it. To be truly heard, one needs to practice the art of listening. This card has been revealed to you today to acknowledge the voice inside of you that wishes to be heard and acknowledged. One of the biggest lessons we can learn in this lifetime is effective communication. Communication that is clear and that does not assume others can read our minds. Working both ways, the art of listening also involves being patient and open to the idea of others. Dear one, at times you don't feel as though you are being truly listened to. This can cause frustration, agitation, and a stagnant whirlpool of energy to build within you. It sounds like that 4 of Cups energy. This frustration sometimes causes you to be indirect, insensitive, and snappy. This energy of frustration and insensitivity then gets passed back to the ones who did not effectively listen to the first time around, and is usually received as a personal attack. This energy only encourages them to continue to not listen with even more resistance and defiance. This cycle of energy is being thrown back and forth. This cycle of energy being thrown back and forth continues and becomes more vicious, intolerable, and heartbreaking. Most often, either or both parties will search elsewhere for an empathetic ear to simply listen. It is time to take the reins and break free from these energetic and emotional mind games. Communicate truthfully about how you feel and express calmly with love what needs to be said. Give the other party an opportunity to also express their feelings truthfully and allow them to speak freely without interruptions or resistance. The more you practice this art of listening with love, the more you will find others eager to hear what you have to say. You will then go from a place of not being heard to a place of being heard by many. And the affirmation is, I am humbled and patient in knowing that to be truly heard, I must first listen. Which is so interesting, because that 4 of Cups is all about listening. And so I do feel like, you know, this soulmate energy could also include you. in that process where you could really be coming into a level of self-love where you are like, I know my truth, I know what I want, I know what I'm about. Universe, what do you got for me? I feel like this is really beautiful because this is an improvement of communication and listening on all levels. I feel like with people that, you know, you have a good relationship with, you could find that your understanding of them, you know, reaches new depths. You could also just find that you're coming out of a phase of being really introverted or just introspective. I feel like that introspection is really important for you to listen to yourself, but then that is leading to more positive communication and more positive understanding with people around you. And there is a lot of emphasis of other people in this reading. And so it seems like your relationships are becoming more harmonious, or you are coming into truth in ways that allow your relationships to be that way, allow you to open yourself up to new connections or new opportunities. And overall, it seems like these next 3 months are about you getting to the truth, your truth. What is the truth between you and others? What is my truth and my truth alone? You know, am I seeing things accurately as you can? And I feel like you're getting there. By the end of it, you know, justice too is air. It's communication. So this is a lot about refinement of the mental body of your relationships with others. And by the end of the 3rd month, it seems like whatever lessons you're learning, you're passing with flying colors, and you're becoming a more effective communicator, and also seeing things differently because you're intuiting and interpreting them differently. So let's go ahead now and see what your charms are. So I'm going to keep my eyes closed, and we're just going to ask Spirit, what signs, symbols, synchronicities, random events are significant to pile 1 in the near future, please? Okay, woof, we got a lot. All right. So, I know exactly where I want to start. We have this amazing pen from the Hermit Tarot. Shout out to her. Please go check out her channel if you have not. And it says, not gonna lie. So, which makes sense. This whole time period is about coming into truth. The truth of your feelings for yourself, for others, the truth of what's working and what isn't. And also, if there are truths you need to tell others, or truths that you haven't been listening to, or truths that you've wanted to ignore, I feel like they are coming into your zone of awareness now. And these next 3 months, it's like, it's inevitable. You're gonna have to listen to them. Okay, did any other charms fall off of the, okay, no, we're good. You guys got a lot of fortune cookie messages, so we'll look at those. Let me get my hair out of there. Hopefully you're not getting my hair in your future. Okay, so truth, that is something being confirmed. We also have the Kermit pen. So I definitely feel like one of the things that you are going to be battling in the next 3 months is the delusional negativity inside of you that's truthfully inside of all of us, and fighting back against those thoughts, fighting back against those fears, and recognizing that those aren't the truth. I feel like there's an empowering opportunity to validate your worth, validate the positive changes that you're making. Like, positive self-talk, I think, is a really important form of healing that you may want to look at. Like, literally just being kind to yourself and rejecting negative things that you say to yourself. You may not even realize you're saying them or doing them, and that's why it's so important to pay attention to that when it's happening. But okay, wow. So we also have this little ring here and this heart key. So I feel like there could, like I said, there could be commitment happening, or a higher level of commitment happening in the next few months, or someone that you will have a significant commitment with, you are meeting or connecting with. I mean, this Justice card can talk about commitment and like commitments in writing. So, and ooh, that's the second key. Oh, I probably put that out of the frame, but in this Soulmates card, there is a key here. So penguins could be significant to like this person or this situation, but it seems like someone who has the key to your heart you are committing to, or just has the key to something you love and passionate about. So it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it can be like you're committing to leasing an apartment for the next year that, you know, really feels right for you, or you're committing to a new job that just really works for you, or whatever it may be. It definitely seems like new doors are opening that are really heartfelt, and commitment is really highlighted here. Like, commitment to what matters to you, commitment to what matters to your heart. Let's see. Let's do your fortunes. Okay, well, that's the wrong side. When you expect your opponent to yield, you should also avoid hurting him. That's a really interesting one. I definitely feel like if any of you guys are going through hardships with people, I think that's really apt advice. And the numbers here are 11, 34, 24, 49 to 45. We have, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. That is pretty apt as well. We've got 14, 40, 27, 24, 18, and 6. Though, I feel like there's nothing wrong with being run over sometimes. I feel like with that 4 of Cups, that is the first month, this next upcoming month is where you're starting to get things moving again, where you may be standing up and stepping up after a period of time where things just felt stuck and you felt stuck. We also have burnt bridges are hard to cross. Wow, okay. And we have 17, 19, 4, 1, 4, 7, 47, 46. So I definitely can see here if like there's someone in your life that, you know, you're having hardships with, but you don't want to let go of, or you want things to change. I feel like the universe is really cautioning you to not make irrational decisions or act from a place of malice or anger, especially if you don't mean it. Like, try your best to be, and even if you are, I feel like things can still be healed and there's growing in that, so you shouldn't beat yourself up even if that happens. But I do think that there is an element here where you may be catastrophizing things, or you may feel like things have to be more extreme than they really do. But if you want someone out of your life completely, burn that fucking bridge. It's hard to cross one like that. Okay, let's see. We also have listen to life and you will hear the voice of life crying. B. Wow. Okay. I don't even remember getting these. But another message about listening. I do feel like there is a message here though about just like begging you to be honest about what truly matters to you and to not treat like the things that you value as nonchalant because you're afraid to look like you care or afraid to look like weak or silly by caring about things. Life wants you to embrace the things that you love. Life wants you to enjoy those things. And we have 15, 13, 54, 43, 7, 31. Let's see, we also have, is this a 9 or a 6? Well, I guess I give me a 69. It could be either, but I'm getting the number 9 here. So September could be significant. A Virgo could be significant. The 9th of one of these months could be significant. Take that as it resonates, just the number 9 in general. We have this little hematite crystal. So I think grounding is an important element of the next few months. Like, you're definitely going to want to make sure you're not totally stuck in your head or getting lost in your emotions to the point where you don't have like a solid connection to the earth, to your body, to your truth. I think hematite could be a useful crystal that you may want to have on you. It's a great crystal for protection, a great crystal for grounding. It's honestly one of my favorite crystals. I don't know if I have Herbie over here. No, I think Herbie's. Let me show you Herbie. This is Herbie, my big chunk of hematite. He's actually probably my favorite crystal, like just in terms of functionality. If you are someone who gets lost in your head or lost in the emotional sauce, hematite is an excellent stone to help ground you, to help kind of clear that. And I just find this crystal to be just, so helpful for me. Like, when I hold it, I feel more in my body, which is kind of wild. Like, it has a very physical effect on me. And you don't need a big ass piece like this. But, you know, this is my guy, and I just really like hematite, so you may want to get yourself some of that. Okay. All right, what else do we have? So we have this little narwhal with books. There may be certain books that you're being called to read, or that you've already felt called to read but haven't picked up yet, that could have really valuable information or even just inspiration. You know, the real message that I'm getting from this narwhal is, you know, I think some of the things that are coming in month 3, you may have a perception of right now that are like, it's too good to be true, or only things like that only happen in fairy tales. And it's like, no, actually, the narwhal is real, and so are your dreams. Like, you need to validate them and also recognize that by pushing them away or acting like they can't exist, like, you're basically telling yourself no to what you want. And, you know, the narwhal is a magical creature just like you, and it's real, just like you, just like your dreams. So trust in them, hold on to them. Narwhals could be a significant sign or animal. We also have the bee, but it was face down, and I do feel like there was a reason for that. I don't pay attention to all of them being face down because most of them were, but the bee being face down I think was important because I'm thinking about work in general. I feel like there may be less emphasis on, you know, productivity in the workspace or things like that, because there is a lot of emphasis on your emotions, not your emotions, but like about your relationships, your relationship to yourself. And I do feel like there is this energy here where you may feel less productive and you might feel bad about yourself as a result of that. And so you're really being encouraged to not let that affect you too much. But I also see, you know, bees as being representative of collective consciousness and also unity consciousness. So unity consciousness might be something you want to look into or just try to cultivate more. You should check out my union reading. If you haven't, I go into that there, and it's probably one of the best readings I've ever done. So the bee is there as well. You may not be a busy bee this month, but I think powerful things will be happening. We also have this reclined monkey. So I definitely feel like these next 3 months as well are about not letting your monkey mind run amok, not letting other people's worries and fears become yours, not taking on the fears of others. I also just think that this is a powerful opportunity in these next 3 months to realize how wrong your monkey mind is, how wrong, you know, certain beliefs you might have about yourself are, just because they stem from fears and uncertainties, and then realizing like, oh, I didn't need to worry in the first place. I definitely think when you get caught up in rumination or things like that, you really want to pay attention to it, get grounded, get a herpy or something like that, to just let yourself realize like, oh, this is not as intense as I feel it is, or this is not the truth. Like, this is not uplifting, this is not supportive, this is not me. We also have this elephant. So I definitely feel like this is a beautiful sign that you're going to be moving through obstacles and gaining wisdom. I heard Ganesha like as soon as I picked it up. So Ganesha could be watching over you or helping you, could be a significant part of helping you move through this journey. I definitely just see that obstacles that have been holding you back in the past are no longer, and you're gaining wisdom from them, which is beautiful, and I love to see it. We also have, I can't read it, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to hold it up. Today is a new day, and the new you is lovely. Okay, so I think this is a phoenix, and I definitely think these next 3 months are about stepping into more of who the current you is, and recognizing like, wow, okay, I don't need to beat myself up for that stupid thing I said in 6th grade, or wow, I don't need to beat myself up for mistakes I made 2 years ago. Like, I have learned from them and I've grown, and it's very human and okay to say silly things in 6th grade or any grade or at any time period for that matter. So I'm not going to let that hold me back, hold me down. There's definitely a regeneration energy here that's, I think, very beautiful and empowering, and rebirth. I mean, that's what that death card is all about, right? Rebirth and transformation. We also have, oh, who is this? Oh, Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael is going to be watching over you. If you want to pray to a specific being, Archangel Michael is offering his services. But this is also a beautiful sign of protection. And I feel like it's reinforcing the Tower message to not be worried about any Tower moments that are happening in month 2, because they are leading to this beautiful truth, this beautiful awareness. It's leading to this soulmate energy, which I just love to see. And I definitely think that you really don't have anything to worry about. And finally, we have the Five of Wands. So this could be confirming conflict with certain people or just internal conflict. And I feel like that is something that is being resolved. And I also feel like you're being encouraged not to get caught up in conflicts that aren't yours. And also to remember that, like, you don't have to fight. Like, you can choose not to. You can choose to opt out. But if it's important, if you need to, definitely do so. These next 3 months are kind of a competition with yourself in terms of how gentle can I be with myself? How can I advocate for myself without compromising my integrity? Things like that. There could be more chaotic conflict energy around you where you might be like sucked into it, and you're really being encouraged to be like, no, actually this isn't me, or this isn't my stuff. And just having the wisdom to calmly step away. Or like, for example, conflict may arise from personal stressors that have nothing to do with you. You know how any of us can be having a bad day and say or do something we don't mean. That doesn't make it okay. Like, may need to resolve things, but recognizing like, oh, they're saying that or they're doing that because they got this really stressful thing happening. Like, I'll give them some space, and then hopefully they'll apologize, or if they don't, if you feel called to and be like, hey, what's going on? I think that could lead to more resolution. But I feel like whatever conflict you experience in the next 3 months, it's leading to greater truth and high quality connections in your life, whether new ones or ones that are being refined through this conflict. It will definitely be bringing you closer together. So pile 1, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and show appreciation for my channel. So thank you to everyone who does that. If you would like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my candles, you can check out my merch, you can check out my social media, you can check out my other videos, check out my fat juicy butt. Just kidding. But that's all I have for you guys, so thank you so much for watching. Oh, you can check out readings with extended. That's very helpful. But that's all I have for you guys, so thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Metamorphosis or Cosmos Oracle, Metamorphosis edition, and this little Pompompurin, this is going to be your reading on what is happening for you the next 3 months. So, I've got your oracles out already, so we just need to shuffle your tarot. Move these so that they align with each month. If you'd like a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro. If you don't, well then good, because you're already in the right place. But essentially, we are just going to be looking at the next 3 months from when you are watching this. So it's not about the time I uploaded it, it's about the time when you're seeing it. So doesn't matter if you're watching this 2 years into the future, 5 years into the future. You are like, wow, thank you. Thank you for supporting me. And month 1 will represent the next month. So I'm currently in September, so month 1 would be October. So whatever month you're in, month 1 is the next one. Hopefully that's not too confusing. Okay, so Spirit, what is happening for my group number 2s in month 1? What is happening for my group number 2s in month 1? What is happening for my group number 2s in month 2? What is happening for my group number 2s in month 2? And what is happening for my group number 2s in month 3? Thank you. Okay, so let's start by looking at month 1. So we have multidimensional, multifaceted, complex. This is a unique card in this deck. And we have inner child, innocence, play, reparenting. And I forgot I was doing this for each group, but I was looking at what was on the back of the deck of each to kind of get a main idea, main message. And so for you guys, we have the King of Swords and restoration, gentleness, recharge, enjoyment. So I really love this. I feel like, number one, the next 3 months are about regeneration and also mental and intellectual empowerment. I feel like your mental faculties are maturing in a lot of ways. And by mental faculties maturing, I don't mean like you're becoming very serious and like, like, I don't know why sounds like a maturity to me, but it does. It's what, it's the wrong type of maturity. It's like maturity that's like, you use Hello Kitty as your pile pickers, do something serious, like, you know, just like, mature does not mean unable to have fun and ruin others' misery. I guess that's what sounds like to me. Sounds like a Rockefeller or something, like the middle of the Industrial Revolution, being like, children don't deserve time off. How else would we get little hands to put in machines? Anyway, okay, hi, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about month 1. Okay, so I feel like there's this powerful expansion happening where you're remembering and reconnecting to parts of yourself that have been, the term that I'm hearing is grossly neglected, and specifically your inner child. I feel like maybe your inner has been going off. God, I feel like I just started something I'm not going to be able to stop. I apologize. Actually, no, I don't. Because if you have a problem with it, you're probably pretty Anyway, your inner has been getting in the way, I do think. And stopping you from just doing things that make you feel good, doing things that you enjoy, and just tapping into parts of yourself that make you feel alive, make you feel good, make you feel happy, you know? I definitely feel like this next month is remembering and reconnecting to parts of yourself that have either been put on the back burner or parts of self that have really needed healing and needed your awareness. I feel like you could be exploring like things that bring you nostalgia whilst also embracing new things that you're interested in that really speak to your inner child. Like you could be trying new hobbies. You could just be having more fun. If your life has been really focused on like one specific thing, like if it's probably like work, right? Or something else. Like if you've been really consumed by, like, I just heard the term caregiver. So like, for example, you know, if you're a parent or, you know, if you're caring for a relative, it seems like this next month, you are at the very least taking time to make sure more of your needs are met or finding ways to make that happen. Obviously, it's a specific example, but for all of you, if you've been heavily focused on one area of your life and it just seems like all your time and attention is going there to the detriment of other parts of yourself, it seems like this next month you're actually getting back to what moves you, what feels good. And I also think one of the complex things that you're realizing is like, what satisfies you and satisfies your inner child is not what satisfied you when you were a child. Like, just because you have an inner child doesn't mean it's as simple as pleasing it is as simple as, you know, pleasing your childhood version of self. Like, life is more complex. We are more complex. What intrigues us and interests us is different, you know. You're likely at an intellectual level that needs more stimulation than like the childhood version of you did. And also, you know, you might find that things you once enjoyed feel foreign to you or feel uncomfortable or feel weird. You may have realizations that are uncomfortable and kind of heartbreaking. The universe is using me as an example for this. I had like a realization in therapy working with my inner child where I was like, oh, I used to like myself. I used to actually like who I was and feel good about that. And like that was connected to my inner child. And it just made me really sad to like realize, you know, how much life had shifted that. And so you could be having like powerful realizations about who you were and how life has shifted that, and the complexities of the human experience have created, you know, a lot of misguided beliefs or a lot of just unhelpful and constricting beliefs about yourself. I feel like, you know, this next month may not be a time where you're like completely dismantling everything that is holding you back, but at the very least, you're becoming aware of the layers of self that need to be seen. You're becoming aware of your need for play and just your need to do things that are fun and enjoyable, your need to have more nuance and variety in your life. I definitely feel like there is also this recognition of how you're being your own worst bully and how you're really stopping yourself and stopping your inner child from enjoying and appreciating and embracing your human experience as it is now. You know, I feel like there are things that, small things like that could make life more enjoyable that you're going to be encountering in the next month, that you realize, like, even though there's small shifts, they make a huge difference. Like, for example, you know, maybe you give yourself permission to why is it when I think of an example, everything is like gone? You know, maybe if you have to write handwritten notes, you do them in colored ink instead of just a black pen. Or if you have to do a presentation, you make that presentation silly, or not in a way that's not professional, but like, you know what I mean, right? Adding a little bit of your own essence into it. That's it. Okay, so you are going to be reconnecting to and recognizing like what your true essence is. And like, if you're like, what's a true essence? The best way I can explain it is like the element of spirit that is just unmistakably you. Like, I'm trying to think of like an example. Like, who has like an essence that's just like, oh yeah, Trisha Paytas has an essence, like, you know, where it's like, oh, that's, yeah, like it's not a judgment or anything like that. It's just like, oh yeah, like that's like, I don't know, maybe that's not a good example. Like, just, yeah, that is a good example, because she's an excellent example of expressing herself and whatever she's interested in, whatever speaks to her, and doing it through her own essence, through her own lens. Like, I see kind of that energy. Like, I'm sure you guys could have better examples. I feel put on the spot because I kind of am. But like, someone's essence, Iris Van Herpen, essence. Like, you see glasses that look remotely like hers and you get it. Like, you know what I mean? You're reconnecting to your essence, your truth. Cyndi Lauper, right? Like, things like that. Like, essence. Like, that's what you're reconnecting to. Those things that make you truly you, and that are just like your calling card, your mark. I feel like you're connecting to those things. You're creating those things, and also recognizing how you've changed and how you've grown, and how what makes you feel free, what makes you feel good is different than it once was. And with this inner child card being here as well, I feel like there's also a recognition that meeting the needs of your inner child is more challenging than like playing with Play-Doh. Like, it's reparenting, it's recognizing the unhealthy patterns within you that, you know, suppress your inner child. Or, you know, if you have wounds from how you were brought up, like, one of the things you may be looking at is how you treat yourself the same way your caregivers did, and how even if it wasn't inherently like malicious or anything like that, it still suppresses you. Like, you know, if you had caregivers that expected high performance and high productivity all the time, having those expectations of yourself to the detriment of your inner child, you're looking at that and being like, oh, I'm doing the same thing they did to me. No wonder I feel this internal frustration, anger, and resistance, because I'm literally I'm giving myself the same experience that I was powerless to stop when I was young. You know what I mean? And so now in this month one, you're saying, oh, I have the power to change this, or oh, I have the power to do this differently, but also to understand it from a perspective like that's maybe more compassionate, and just realizing like, wow, like, we're all susceptible to having unhealthy patterns and behaviors, like reiterating those towards ourselves. But I feel like there's this level of like, okay, you know what, like, let me get out of my head and just go have some fun. I feel like there's a mixture in month one of reflection and observation and pure fun and in the moment experiences. So definitely, like, in the next month, if you have the opportunity to go do fun things, or you get invited to do things, or you want to do things, like, send out those invitations, make things happen. Like, if you can, I feel like even like going to a water park or a theme park, or and maybe that's not your speed. Maybe you're more like a bookstore type of person, or like a whatever type of person you are, whatever just lights your heart up. Do those things and be very present with those, and just notice how you feel, and notice how you're able to kind of turn off that linear mode of thinking that's like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, blah blah blah, like that's just very, like, honestly anal about your performance. That sounds funny. I didn't mean it in a dirty way, but you know what I mean. At least I hope so. This is a time where you're really just gauging, like, wow, okay, there's a lot of different moving parts here, and feelings of freedom, feelings of joy, having fun is a bit more complex than just doing something that makes my inner child happy, because it's hard to enjoy something when you're stressed about what you're neglecting, or it's hard to feel good about things when you don't feel good, period. Like, I think there's just a lot happening here, but the goal overall is striving to reconnect to this sense of freedom and play that just feels good and uplifting for you, and because that can be like this saving grace in times when things are so hard and challenging and we feel like broken down and exhausted. And even if you don't feel that way, having a regular sense of play is just very important in general, whether things are good or things are bad. And you know, play is intelligent. Speaking of that King of Swords, like, the most intelligent animals, like dolphins, I don't know if they're the most intelligent, but one of the most intelligent animals, like they play. So yeah, let's look at month 2 and see how this multi-dimensional energy is progressing. Ooh, okay, I love to see it. We have the Page of Wands, inspiration, potential, free spirit. And we have freedom. Okay, do you like her dress that I made her? She's ready for the Met Gala. Okay, I love this. So the work that you are doing in month 1 is translating in month 2. You are going to be reconnecting to your inner child in powerful and exciting ways. The Page of Wands, like, if I could give personalities to it, Annie from the musical Annie, Bart Simpson. It's a really fun, exciting energy, you know? It's hopeful, it's optimistic, and I love, like, I think of Annie and, like, you know, how she says, leaping lizards, like, and then there's a lizard. Like, I feel like month 2 is about you reclaiming your independence, your truth, and setting yourself free from what's been holding you back from embracing life more. I feel like your powers of observation, the healing work that you're doing in month 1, is leading you to awareness where you're recognizing where you can give your inner child room to lead. I definitely think you will have gained information on what makes your inner child feel alive, feel good, feel excited, and that's translating into you feeling alive, good, excited, optimistic, inspired, and curious about things you haven't explored, potential pathways that you thought weren't for you because you had just shunned them off out of a belief you couldn't have them or they weren't possible. You're quite literally stepping out of a cage, a mental cage that you put yourself in, that suppressed your creativity, suppressed your freedom, suppressed your desire, you know, to explore and see what the world has in store. Like, there's a real reclamation of your freedom and of your joy. And I love to see this. I feel like you're getting concrete answers in month 1 that are leading you to act on them in month 2. And, well, I'm sure you'll be acting on them in month 1, but, like, as you continue acting on them, I think that a lot of chains are breaking down. And you're seeing, like, oh, I'm not trapped or bound by this specific thing, or I don't have to do things in this order. Like, I don't even have to go down this pathway if I don't want to. There's, like, your word of the day, or your word of the next 3 months, is boundless. Like, you are not bound to anything unless you want to be, and you know what I mean. But that would be something that you would enjoy and that you would like. So I definitely think month 2 is about cultivating and creating visions, inspiration, tangible objects potentially, but really just, like, releasing any residual, like, things that make you feel trapped, any residual beliefs, any residual shoulds, and really just stepping into this authenticity. Like, I do feel like there's going to be exciting things that you discover in month 1 that you start acting on in month 2, or you might discover these things in month 2 and be like, okay, so how are we going to make this happen? Like, you might discover that you love playing the cello, and so you're like, okay, well, I can't afford a cello, so how am I going to get a cello? Oh my God, cello, we're going to do a bake sale, and oh my God, I love baking, that speaks to my inner child. Like, I know it sounds silly, but like, even when you need to find solutions, you're finding more creative, fun, playful ways to make those solutions happen. I also just feel like you're also taking responsibility for your own joy and taking responsibility for what is yours to heal and what is yours to explore. Like, and I don't really think that this is about healing in like in a traditional sense, but more like healing thought patterns and healing like ways that you control and constrict yourself, and being the one to tell yourself like, no, we actually don't know what the outcome will be, but that's okay, because that's what life's all about. Or no, actually, it's okay that we don't know what we want to do. It's okay that we want to explore. Like, life is not about being sure. I think even people that are very stable and have very like set lives aren't even sure, you know, of a lot of things. And I feel like just realizing there's freedom in not knowing, and there's freedom in the hope and excitement of future. And I feel like that's what this is really all about. Month 2 is about getting into excitement about the future, excitement about what could be, and exploring certain pathways, and just realizing like you're not bound to any one of them. Like we said, you are boundless, and there's so many wonderful, beautiful opportunities for exploration and growth and just joyful, fun experiences that you never could have imagined or anticipated. And I feel like that's leading to just even more fun experiences. And honestly, in month 2, you might be a little reckless, you might be a little chaotic, you might, you know, be a little irresponsible. But the one thing that I'm seeing here is that that's okay. Like, sure, there might be consequences, but, you know, I feel like the benefits outweigh the consequences. I feel like, and even then, like, you know, do the consequences even have any meaning when you're no longer giving them weight? You know what I mean? I definitely think that there's this energy here where you're telling anything that's trying to constrict you to eat your shorts, and you're going out and living, riding your skateboard, and just having a good time. I really love to see this. I feel like anything that makes you feel trapped, anything that makes you feel stuck, it's not for you. This is all about you revolutionizing and reconnecting to what you want the trajectory of your life to be, and not getting bogged down by like the human condition and shoulds. Like, it's hard not to get bogged down by the human condition, because a lot of us are. But that's why the universe needs people like you to remind everyone, hey, you're not stuck in a certain situation. Hey, you don't have to be here. You don't have to play by this game with these rules. Like, you can just say no and walk away from the game in general. Like, this is all about you reclaiming your truth. And even if you don't know what that is, truths that bring you joy, that make you feel free, that make you feel good. And that's leading to a lot of powerful discoveries about yourself and about what you enjoy and what has meaning for you. I also think there could be a lot of creative inspiration or creative opportunities as a result of this. I also feel like you may realize as well, like, you don't have to do things by the book. And you may realize, like, you don't have to like do things in a traditional sense, and that brings a sense of freedom as well. Okay, let's look at month 3. What's happening in month 3? Ooh, oh my God. Oh wow. Okay. These next 3 months, buckle the fuck up, pile 2, because you are gonna be, people are gonna be mad about how much you change, like, and you're not even gonna give a flying frig. I feel like I'm saying that for too much, but okay, we have the King of Wands, authentic, calculated, motivational. Ooh, and we have discernment, choice, duality, diligence. So I definitely feel, I love this. So the Page of Wands is the most immature card in the deck. The King of Wands is the most mature card in the deck. Or not card, like most mature. The King of Wands is the most mature core card. The Page of Wands is the page in general is the least mature of the suits. I worded that inaccurately. I apologize. The kings are the most mature of the court cards. The pages are the least mature. So throughout the process of month 2 and month 3, you are evolving quite rapidly when it comes to these changes that you're making, these realizations that you're having, and you're stepping into a powerful form of leadership where you can trust yourself and trust the path that you're headed. This, oh my God, and there's literally chains on these wolves. The wolves inside of you are not gonna be fighting. They're gonna be agreeing with you. Like, there's going to be so much, what's the right word? No, what is the right word? It's not fluid. It's everything is in alignment in a way where you're not fragmented in month 3. There is a coming together of what you've been learning, synthesizing it with what already works, and having a greater idea, a greater direction that you're not chained to, you're not trapped to, but that inspires you, makes you feel good, and also gives you the confidence. Like, you may be fearful, but like you have the confidence at least to go for it and know that it'll be okay. Like, there's let me change the word confidence to courage. You have the courage to go for what your discoveries have brought you. And there's this real awareness of like, okay, I can just say no to what isn't for me, and I can continue following what is a yes. This King of Wands, like, I love this. I'm not gonna lie, like, I really hope you'll come back and tell me about the next 3 months, because I feel like in the next 3 months, like by the end of it, you're not going to recognize the version of you watching this. If you do, it's just gonna be like, wow, I was really asleep. Like, wow, I was really not here. Like, this King of Wands to me is telling me that, like, in the next 3 months, you're not only gonna have a new lease on life, but you're gonna have like a powerful sense of direction, a powerful sense of purpose, and a powerful sense of, this is where I'm going, this is what I want to do, this is what works for me, this is what doesn't, and I'm gonna continue to take it as it comes. Like, I feel like there's gonna be a powerful, one of the most powerful things that you're developing in these next 3 months is the ability to say yes or no because you want to say yes or no, rather than because you're trying to please someone else, or because you're afraid that you're not making decisions based on guilt or shoulds. You're making decisions based on what is for you and what isn't, in very powerful ways. You're stepping into leadership, and you're having the courage to forge your own path in ways that you didn't before. You're also realizing that your inner child that you've been connecting to more and more actually has a powerful role in this. Your inner child, think of it as like, your inner child is the mitochondria of your purpose. It is the powerhouse of your purpose, because it fuels your motivation. It fuels you to move forward. I guess it could also be the nucleus, because it also has like a sense of direction that's quite powerful. Like, it knows where to go, it knows what to do, like the nucleus. I don't know. I'm like, someone who's better at science is like, oh, she's butchering cells right now. And to that I would say, meh, go read a biology book then. Go teach other people about it. But anyway, this is powerful. I mean, you're finding a peaceful coexistence between the two wolves within you. The one that wants destruction and the one that wants progression. Because they both need to exist, truthfully. And I feel like you're realizing that, like, you can be multiple things at once. You can embody multiple things at once, and that you can expand in more ways than you thought. I also just feel like you're just gaining power, not because you were less powerful, but you're just recognizing your own. You're recognizing your ability to conjure and create, and you're recognizing the power of affirming the reality you want. This energy is creator being. Like, you are recognizing the reality that you can create, stepping into that, taking action, and knowing what is yours to act on and what is yours to allow the universe to make happen. You are deeply connected, or will be deeply connected to your higher self, to your greater wisdom, into your deeper truths and your inner child. And all of those working together are allowing you to make the best decisions for yourself, cut out any bullshit that doesn't need to be there anymore, and unapologetically so. Like, you're not going to be the type of person that's, you know, allowing dead weight to hang around or hang on to you because you feel bad letting it go. Like, you are in this unapologetic, like, nope, this is for me. If anyone else has a problem with it, they can deal with it. I feel like this is very real. Like, I have the power to not only change my reality, but I accept responsibility for whatever that creates. And I also know that I can handle it. I also know that, like, I'm being called to step up for a reason. And I feel like you're just stepping into leadership in very powerful ways and becoming very skilled at knowing what is for you and what isn't, without overthinking it, without feeling guilty, without bullshit that doesn't need to be there. That's a good example of dead weight that doesn't need to be there. So in the next 3 months, you can expect to have a lot of powerful self-discovery and a lot of powerful transformation that is less about, like, becoming something that you're not, but rather letting go of what you're not so you can be what you already were and were already meant to be. And I feel like it's going to be very powerful, very liberating, and I just can't wait. I can't wait for you to feel what month 3 is going to feel like after you've moved through this process and just realized, like, how much more there is than what your limited sights were before. Okay, I'm burping, so that means you're releasing negativity as well. But we're going to go ahead now and look at what the deeper purpose of the next 3 months is. But if you're enjoying this reading and you'd like to support me, leaving a little like, or a subscribble. Super helpful ways to do that. Thank you to everyone who does. But if not, I'm just grateful you're here. Thank you for letting me read for you. Let me give these one more good shuffle. Okay. Pile 2, Spirit. What is the deeper purpose of these next 3 months? What are they integrating in the next 3 months? And what is happening for them in the next 3 months that they need to know? Ooh, we have emotions. Okay. It is time to acknowledge and release suppressed emotional energy in a positive, constructive way. Emotions and feelings assist us in navigating our way through life. They are fundamental to determining the health of our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Many people suppress their emotions for fear of being consumed by them. Neglected, stored emotions create volcanic pressure within, which can be detrimental to one's energy and body. If you selected this card, it is encouraging you to allow your emotions to flow in a safe space for you. Express your emotions. If you are sad, then cry. If you are angry, then be angry. Acknowledge and truly feel this process. Observe the emotions that are being released and ask yourself, where do these reactions and emotions stem? One thing that I'm getting immediately is that I feel like there's a lot of pent-up emotion about authority figures and what they taught you in your life that was harmful or suppressive to your spirit, to your true nature. And I feel like there's emotion that you need to process around that, and that once you do, you will realize, like, it was never yours to carry in the first place. Like, okay, anyway. Observe the emotions that are being released and ask yourself, from where do these reactions and emotions stem? Perhaps past memories and experiences are overlaying the current experience and increasing its emotional impact on you. It's so easy to overlook the tight grip these denied emotions have had on you until they are released. Channeling these emotions in positive, constructive ways rather than ignoring them allows you to free yourself of the emotional baggage within you. This act of releasing enables you to be present, to enjoy the magic and awe of your everyday miracles. And I just got this message. I was thinking about, like, think about how your inner child dealt with emotions. I was thinking about the fact that when I was angry as a kid, I wanted to slam my door so badly, but I couldn't. I couldn't slam my door because I get in more trouble. And so now I'm like, man, when I'm angry, I think I'm going to start slamming doors. Like, nobody can tell me no. It's my damn house. I pay taxes. Like, Fuck everyone. I'm slamming my doors. So if you need permission to slam your doors, slam them. Okay. The act of releasing or anything, like the door example is just one. This act of releasing enables you to be present, to enjoy the magic and awe of your everyday miracles. It's easy and tempting to resist these unpleasant emotions, but the only way you will be free of this suppressed energy is to walk through the emotions. Writing down your feelings, releasing emotions to nature, talking with someone you trust are just some of the many ways you can dispel this pent-up energy. Be gentle and compassionate with yourself during this process. And the prayer is, Great Spirit, please guide me through this process of cleansing and releasing with love. And I think this is very powerful because even though there's like a lot of, I think the intellectual growth is coming from a release of emotional energy where, because, you know, feelings like guilt and shame can manifest in, well, I should do things this way, or I'm not worthy to do that, or you know what I mean? They're all connected. But let's go ahead now and look at your charms and just see, you know, what else you need to know about the next 3 months, what signs and symbols could be there. So I'm closing my eyes. Pile 2, Spirit, what is happening in the next 3 months that they need to be aware of? Ooh, okay. So let's start with always sleepy club member. Maybe one of the things you need is to give yourself more sleep. But that card literally did just talk about, you know, pent-up emotions exhausting you. So maybe moving through these emotional energies will help you release any pent-up energy. I also can see as well, like, maybe one of the things you just need is more time to care for yourself. Like, you may just need more gentleness. And maybe too, like, maybe get some new sheets or something that just like makes your bed cozier that you've wanted. Maybe getting like sheets that remind you of ones you had as a kid, or like, just, I don't know, if you can make your bedding, like, if you can love it more, do that. I have to look at this. It's time for you to explore all of those new interests. Oh my God, I'm so glad that I eat so much Chinese food because, like, hello, like, this is so validating. Okay, what are your lucky numbers? 1, 34, 24, 49, 2, 45. So I definitely think that as you might find that as you explore new things that excite you and feel good, you naturally have more energy and you're less sleepy. Let's see what else here. No one grows old by living, only by losing interest in living. Yeah, so I feel like this is a reclamation of your spirit and a reclamation of your passion, reclamation of what feels good to you and what you want your life to be, which is badass, and I love that for you. Numbers 10, 47, 51, 44, 16, 38. We have the bird cage here, which is definitely symbolic. So I definitely think you're setting yourself free, and this is a huge reminder to not let yourself ruminate and get stuck in that. You are meant to fly, not be stuck in a cage. We also have Up, which I think is really, or, you know, the guy from Up. So Up could be a significant movie, especially because that movie is all about, you know, following your dreams, even though, like, so much life has happened, you know? God, I can't even watch the beginning of it because it makes me sob. But I feel like this is more than that. For some of you, if you wanted to go to like a rave or just something really fun, that could be your sign to do that. But also, like, I feel like you're really being called to not let the limitations that are spoken to you, especially by those who are older than you or those who had authority over you, shape who you become and shape the life you want to live, because it's so unfair to you. We also have road tripper. So maybe you're being called to go on a road trip and explore. I just heard Sedona. So I don't know, maybe some of y'all are going to go on an Arizonan road trip, drive on Route 66. I mean, I don't even know if Sedona is near that. I'm not very familiar with the geography of the southwestern United States, but what I do know is that there are cars in the world and roads, and if you have those two things, I think you can pretty much go anywhere, barring the limitations of geography and technology. But I definitely think if you're thinking about going on a trip, especially a road trip, to do that, that could be a very powerful, very empowering experience for you. And I feel like you could have realizations. I'm also hearing Little Miss Sunshine. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but that movie might be significant, or some element of it might have some wisdom for you. We also have this padlock here. So I definitely think things that you've been suppressing are coming to the surface. And I feel like, you know, you're really being encouraged to not let those things stay on lockdown, because they are quite literally just holding you back from experiencing more freedom and releasing a lot of pent-up energy that no longer needs to be there. We also have smile. It's the same in all languages. So I definitely think as well, like, that makes me think of Annie again, you know, the song "You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile." Maybe just even small things like that. Like that song makes me happy when I listen to it. I could be in the most bitter, like just curmudgeon-y energy, and I listen to that and I'm like, I'm kind of like, meh, but you have a point. So I feel like it even helps me then. Oh, you guys got this one too. It's time to take a break from the monkey mind. Let the rumination go. She does not need to be there. And I also feel like other people's, you know the phrase, not my circus, not my monkeys? I definitely think you're being encouraged to not take responsibility for that which is not yours in the first place. And I also think that this is a powerful opportunity to let go of rumination, let go of chaos, the chaotic monkey mind, and feel more peaceful in yourself. But I feel like there's not going to be a lot of peace. I think there's just going to be a lot of excitement and empowerment. I feel like you're going to be feeling really powerful, and just that's awesome. It makes me so happy for you. We also have this shooting star. So number one, this is your sign that it's time to make your dreams come true, and that not only are you capable of them, but you're already doing it, but also to just have hope for the future. I mean, that's what the Star Tarot card is all about. And Aquarius energy could be significant, but I just really feel like what you want, you can have. And in the next 3 months, you're setting the foundations to make that happen and giving yourself the direction necessary so that you can truly co-create with the universe. And it's a powerful thing, a very powerful thing. We also have I love my cat. Maybe for some of you, you could be getting a cat. Or if you have, a kitty, you know what I'm saying? You could be bonding with it more in ways where you're kind to your body and kind to what you have, and recognizing that she deserves love. But also this could just be related to animals or a friend named Cat. You know, maybe you have a friend named Cat and they bring you a lot of joy, or they could be significant. Maybe they go on the road trip with you, or maybe they are a significant source of joy, or you feel like you could be in your inner child with them. But also just cats in general could be significant. Maybe you choose to get one. Maybe you get signs from a past animal that you've had that's maybe passed on. But also, you know, maybe by just, if you don't want a cat, maybe if you know someone that has a cat, like, observe their cat's behavior, because like cats are they know their worth. Like, cats know how to say no to what they don't want. Like, cats never make a decision out of guilt or shame. Like, they make decisions based on what's best for them. So when in doubt, act like a cat. Maybe still use indoor plumbing though. You don't need a litter box. Okay. We have this apple. So I immediately heard Big Apple. So like maybe New York City could be significant for some of you. Maybe you're moving or just traveling there. But also the phrase like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. This could be an encouragement to just focus on like what you're eating and making sure that it's nourishing and supportive and fueling you. I say that as I have diet soda next to me, but you know what? It's fine. I also eat vegetables, so it's all about balance, right? And I feel like in your case, there's a real need for you to be honest with yourself about how you could feel yourself better, but to also recognize, like, why did that leave my head? As soon as I was saying it, it left my head. Recognize your worth in the sense that, like, have you ever seen that image of like a golden fruit that's rotted on the inside, and it like just talks about how there's so many people like that? You know, your beauty shines inward out. And I feel like you're being called to remember that like your value is not rooted in how you appear or some superficial metric that society says is important. It's about how you feel and how you see yourself and what energy you're cultivating. And I feel like you're getting into a beautiful energy where you are this diamond encrusted apple, and we love that. We also have this ladybug. I always see ladybugs as signs of grounding, but also actually inner child healing. So that's really cool and really powerful. Ladybugs could be a powerful sign for you. They could be a sign that you're on the right track. Pay attention to ladybug sightings, and you may want to look up ladybug symbolism or if ladybugs have a specific symbol to you, then I think that is a message for you specifically. We also have number 9, or it can be 6, whatever you want. So the month of June or the month of September could be significant. The 9th of a month could be significant. Yeah, I think that's all I have for 9. Oh, what's this? Oh, and we also have 4. So maybe you're born in 94 or 49. Maybe September 4th or April 9th is significant. I don't know, 9 and 4, those could be significant numbers. Take them as they resonate. We also have the letter R. I don't know why, I just have the words really fun. So I feel like the next few months are going to be really fun. Also, R, pirates. I don't know, they make me think of pirates. I had a dream last night that there was a pirate ship in front of me, and I remember thinking, like, it's cool, but it's not the Flying Dutchman. And I woke up feeling really embarrassed, being like, how is it that SpongeBob is embedded so deeply into my psyche that I criticized a pirate ship in my dream world and was like, it's not the Flying Dutchman. Like, sure, I was right, but it's still kind of embarrassing. Anyway, okay. And then we have this, I believe it's a 50-cent piece. And I'm trying to see like what the year is on it, but she's a little dirty and my eyes are a little not amazing. So I can't tell you what the year is because I can't see it, but you know, the coin says Liberty. We've got we got JFK on it, right? So JFK could be significant in some way, but I mean, I think the term liberty is very important here. Like you're freeing yourself, but also, you know, the decisions that you could be making are giving you, are making things happen in half the amount of time, or you're getting twice as much that you thought you would. Also, you know, these decisions that you're making could be leading to powerful abundance, or, you know, JFK was quite a powerful leader and politician. So, you know, maybe you're embodying those energies, like, you know, just I mean, I'm not specifically like, but like just the energies of leadership, of courage, of inspiring others. Was he the guy that said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country? I don't know, something like that. You could have some inspirational words to share. My only guidance though would be do not ride in Dallas in a uncovered convertible. At least for the next 3 months. But pile two, sorry. That is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and show appreciation. So thank you to everyone who does that. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, comment down below, like it, let me know how it resonates. Other ways to support, you can check out my candles, you can check out merch, you can check out my other videos, especially extendeds, share them, do whatever. But I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. Thank you so much for being here and for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose Keroppi and the Glow Oracle to use to mentioning tarot decks, this is going to be your reading on what is happening for you in the next 3 months. As usual, remember that nothing is ever set in stone. The future is always subject to change, but based on right now, when you are viewing this reading, it is timeless. So It's the next 3 months from when you're watching this, not from when I uploaded it. So, for example, I'm in the month of September, so month 1 would be October. Whatever month you're in, month 1 represents the next month. But we're going to go ahead and start by shuffling your tarot and seeing what the overall energies for each month have in store for you. Let's give these a good shuffle. So, pile 3 spirit, what is happening for pile 3 in the next month, month 1? What is happening for pile 3 in month 2? Did I say thank you so much for being here? Thank you for being here. I also feel really called to say, I don't know why, thank you for being here on like a broader scale. Like, thank you for being here on the planet. I don't know if some of you have been really struggling with pretty intense like dark thoughts. And I just feel really called to say that your presence on this world is such a gift, and we're all privileged to have you. And it might be hard to believe that from your own perspective, but just remember, you don't see the value that you bring to so many people around you. And your presence is a gift that I don't think you quite understand. And I hope that you begin to discover that. I don't know why, but I just felt really called to say that. Pile 3's third month, month 3. What is happening to pile 3 in month 3? Okay, we're hiding that because we don't want to look at that yet. I don't want to see it. Okay, so, wow, okay. Oh shoot, I forgot. I was doing this for the back of the deck of each group. Your bottom of the deck energies are Weedy Sea Dragon, Slow Down, Move with Grace, and the 9 of Cups, Divine Fulfillment, Prosperity, Gratitude. And so this really tells me that the next 3 months in general are about wish fulfillment, and also about recognizing that you're not behind, nothing is out of place, nothing is wrong. You're not messing something up, you're not missing out on something, you're exactly where you need to be, and you have plenty of time to create the reality that you're trying to ground. And not only that, like, you know, it kind of sounds like maybe some of you have really been struggling recently. And I just want you to know that like that struggle is not a representation of your worth or a representation of failure on your part. It's a representation of your humanity and our natural tendencies to get stuck in different states, and it's just so normal. And I just hope you know it's nothing that you should shame yourself for or feel like makes you flawed. But with that being said, let's go ahead and see what your next month, the next month, month 1 has in store for you. Wow. So we have Judgment, the Truth, Objectivity, Authenticity, and the Hawaiian Bobtail Squid, Creativity, Inspired Action. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. Maybe my tea message is for you as well. I have a cute little cat mug with tarot cards on it. I believe I got it on Etsy, but it says your potential self is infinite. So maybe that's a sign for you as well. But this is beautiful. The next month, there is a very powerful shift happening. Judgment is all about transformation and divine, I wouldn't call it reclamation, I would call it revelation. Revelation is the right word. Divine revelations that fundamentally shift who you are and shift your trajectory. In the traditional tarot, judgment, or at least in the Rider-Waite tarot, Judgment is depicted as Judgment Day, like in the Bible. And I really feel like this Judgment card is talking a lot about the next month being something that is very powerful for you, where I just heard a new lease on life, but not in a way that's like, what? Sorry, I was getting like a bunch of things at once. You're getting a new lease on life, and not one that you have to work for, not one that you earned, one that is given because you're you, because it's meant to be, because it was always going to happen. I feel like you've been in this phase of confusion. And that confusion has been very important for deconstructing ideas around selfhood and ideas around what is your authentic expression on this planet? What are you doing here and why? Where are you most suited? And also, I think that there could be a level of this confusion kind of helping you, well, not right now, but in the future, kind of helping you see how your worth is not tied to clarity, and your worth is also not tied to productivity or reception of what you give to the world. I feel like you're stepping into yourself in a new way in the next month, but also reconnecting to aspects of yourself that have always been you that maybe you forgot were there. There's some sort of revelation or truth that you're going to get, I think mixed with creative inspiration, that is going to give you a lot of energy and momentum to make moves that you've thought about for a while, make moves that maybe you thought weren't for you in the first place. This energy really reminds me of when I discovered tarot, and like I started reading for myself, and I realized like, oh, maybe I should like try this on YouTube and like see what happens. And there was kind of just this momentum that carried me through it, and like this just almost this passionate energy that I wasn't in control of, but that led me. And I feel like this is happening for you. And it could be towards something you're already doing or something completely new. I can see that creative faculties have a part in this. So whether you have a creative career or not, you don't have to, but I do think that whatever you're trying to create, whether that is a different way of living, a reality that's not here yet, a career that is aligned with your creativity, a shift in a creative career, or if you're trying to create like anything that you're manifesting, I think that you're getting powerful truths next month that really clear out confusion. And I also feel like there's angelic intervention involved, because this Judgment card really reminds me of like the biblical descriptions of angels, and Archangel Gabriel is depicted in the traditional Judgment card. I guess we could also say this is Archangel Gabriel. Because it's not like they have a set form. They can be whatever we want them to be. But I think this next month is going to be quite powerful for you. Like if you've been feeling especially fatigued and drained and just kind of like not really excited about anything, or just feeling a little bit directionless, next month you're getting that direction. And how that happens, I think, is going to be unique for all of you. But you are being called to act on this direction, or at the very least, start setting foundations. So, for example, if you get inspired to try a different career or explore a different job, like you're going to want to start like looking at, you know, the practicalities of that. Or if you are seeing yourself embodying a different lifestyle, you're going to want to be like looking at, okay, how am I going to implement this, and how is it going to be doable for me? Like, but I definitely think there's not a whole lot of thought here. I feel like a lot of the shifts and changes that you'll be making and the action that you will take will be very intuitive, and it will feel natural. And I think that is one of the things that will be such a relief for you next month, is like that you won't be questioning every step you take. Instead, it's just like you're moving as if it were the most natural thing in the world for you. You know, especially if you are someone who is prone to overthinking, which I wouldn't be shocked if you are, just based on like what I've been picking up on here. Hi, welcome to the club. Real recognizes real, right? I would not be shocked if there's this like it's a weird sensation for you to just be moving and doing without analyzing every step and analyzing every small component. I feel like it will be very freeing for you. And I also think you'll realize that maybe some of the confusion that you've been experiencing has been rooted in self-doubt and maybe insecurity. But the cool thing as well is that I feel like this is like the start of a very powerful new beginning for you. Judgment is not the last card in the minor or in the major arcana. The World comes after. So I feel like you're setting yourself up for a powerful completion that leads to a new beginning based on these truths. I can definitely see here that whether you are beginning transformations next month or getting the truths that lead to transformation, it's certainly happening. And I feel like a lot of these changes are a long time coming. So I definitely think that there is some relief involved there. If you're watching this when I first upload it, I do know that there are eclipses happening right now. I don't know much astrologically about what that represents. I just know that it can make things a little wild. I just also know that Eclipse is the best Twilight movie. And if you disagree with me, I'm sorry, you have a wrong opinion, but that is your burden to carry, not mine. And I support you in having wrong opinions. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at month 2 and see how this Judgment energy transfers into month 2. So wow, okay, we have the King of Pentacles, ambitious, generational wealth, natural leader, and blue ringed octopus, agility, flexibility, willpower. So I think it's really interesting that you have had an octopus and a squid, because number one, they're very clever animals, but they're also very unique animals, you know, and they're very intelligent. So I definitely think that your intelligence is being highlighted here as something you shouldn't underestimate. And I think actually one of the downsides of your intelligence is probably the overthinking components. And so I think that what's really going to happen here is you're going to be stepping into more stability from these revelations and from these truths. I also think you could be getting assistance from someone. If you're not in a financially stable place, you could be getting the guidance necessary to get there. You could be getting the resources or starting to cultivate those. But if you already do have like a stable financial situation, but you're trying to grow that, I definitely see whatever you're doing in month 1 is leading to more of that in month 2. Now, the really interesting thing is that the blue ringed octopus is a very deadly octopus. It's beautiful, but it's deadly. And I feel like month 2, you're going to be grappling with the choices that you make and trying not to regress into old patterns, but also being aware of what choices are fulfilling for the soul and what choices are deadly to the soul. Because I feel like, you know, financial stability is a really wonderful thing, and I pray that every being has that gift in this lifetime. But one of the things that money can do is kind of disconnect you from your soul, disconnect you from your greater truths, especially if you get too caught up in it, or if nothing's ever enough, or if you feel like you need more, or it feels like it's not enough. So I do feel like as you are shifting, you're going to have to walk this kind of tightrope where you are uplifting yourself for the accomplishments that you're making and making, you know, smart decisions with whatever you're reaping from the changes that you make, but to not lose sight of, 1, how incredible it is, like how far you've already come, and 2, don't look so far into the horizon that you miss the value of the present in month 2. I definitely think that you're going to be feeling more confident in yourself and more grounded. I also feel like you're going to be a little bit shocked at your ability to cultivate wealth or your ability to cultivate stability when you have a clear idea of what you're able to create. There could be a significant person that helps you, like there could be some sort of investor or something like that for some of you if you're like thinking about investing, but obviously it's a very, very specific group of, that would be a very specific thing. I definitely think no matter what though, you're stepping into a powerful level of sovereignty and stability that I think that you may realize like has kind of already been available to you in certain ways. It's just maybe that you were being too hard on yourself and didn't see how it was already there. But there's also a message here about, which I think I kind of already said it, walking that tightrope, being not calculated, but discerning about what choices you make in the second month of these next 3 months, because I do feel like the best choices for you during this time may not be the ones you're used to making, and the most supportive choices for the goals that you have you know, there may be better ways of getting there, or better ways of, or easier ways of making these things happen, by just being open to more opportunities, or saying yes or no to certain things, or just prioritizing your time and energy, and prioritizing like decision making that supports what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. I definitely feel like there is an element in month 2 where you might be feeling a little, maybe isolated is the right word, but I think isolated is a little extreme. I think it's more so taking personal responsibility and just kind of recognizing like nobody can know what the best choices for you to make are. There is a responsibility on your own to like make the right decisions for yourself. And I think actually what you need to do is take out the idea that there is a right decision, and that there are just choices, and some choices are more supportive and less supportive, and just, you know, walking that line of, okay, what is supportive and what isn't. And I also think that one of the things that you're going to be exploring in month 2 is, you know, how much do I want to cultivate, and is this cultivation beneficial for my humanity, for my spirit, for my soul? I feel like in month 2, you are really exploring, how can I maximize my goals, maximize what I'm trying to conjure without degrading my spirit, or exploiting myself, or exploiting my time and energy in ways that rob me from living life in the present, and living life authentically and in empowering ways for you. I definitely think that you might be recognizing patterns that your parents or caregivers had that you are now embodying, and I feel like you have the opportunity to do some powerful healing where you're able to change your decision making and do something differently. You have the opportunity as well. I think there's a theme in month 2 of are you making decisions out of fear, or are you making decisions out of love? And how are these decisions supporting you? I also feel like you're healing your self-worth a lot in this month. And I think it's partially because you're reconnecting to your truths in month 1, and whatever inspired action you're taking is reflecting the fact that not only can you trust yourself to take these actions, but when you take these actions, you are rewarded and supported by the universe, and you get actual evidence of that. I would be careful of who you spend your time and energy with in month 2. There might be, as you shift and change, there might be some people uncomfortable with these changes that you're making, and they might have some issues with it that have nothing to do with you. So I do see here that like it might be in your own best interest like to keep your circle small in month 2, and just kind of keep whatever you're working on, or whatever your goals are, on the down low. Like let your success speak for itself. I feel like it already has in a lot of ways, depending on who you are and what your circumstances are. But if you're not already in a prosperous position, I think in month 2 you could be entering one, or setting the foundations to enter one that could really set you up for a long time. This is really powerful. And I think there's this powerful thing that you're going to experience in month 2 where you reconnect to your soul in a way where you see the value of the material reality, and see how important it can be to living the life that you want, but also seeing how being too invested in your material reality can kind of disconnect you from yourself. And since you've been kind of already working on this, like, what is true connection to myself? Who am I? I think that it's going to be an interesting opportunity for you to find that balance, and see, you know, what works for you and what doesn't. But month 2, definitely trust yourself, definitely trust where you're headed. And also, I think practical decision making that just supports your goals, like practicality, not in the sense of fear-based decision making, but practicality in the sense of focusing on goals and ambitions. I think that is, you know, maybe what you want to think about. And also, I think that there is an opportunity for you to reflect on what your ambitions really are, and make sure they're still in alignment with what you want. You know, it's okay for our ambitions to change, and it's okay for us to be even more ambitious or want more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more out of life. You know, Britney Spears, Give Me More, like, iconic song, and you're an iconic person. I was just like hearing that in my head. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel guilt or shame around that, it's going to make taking action towards that a lot more complicated and a lot more distressing for you. So I definitely think that the work that you're doing in month 1 is really helping you reconnect to your sense of self in ways where you're less swayed by external opinion or shoulds. But I can definitely see here there's a lot of opportunities for you to see like the pitfalls of past decision making, the pitfalls of, you know, leaning too far into something, or having a vice of some kind, or like, you know, wanting to chase something to the detriment of your spirit, you know what I mean? But I think this is a really powerful thing where you're stepping into a lot of maturity, and also just realizing, like, I feel like you are a diamond that has been looking in the mirror, seeing cubic zirconium, and you're finally like waking up and being like, oh shit, I was a diamond this whole time. Like, why couldn't I see that? That's so silly. And I think you might even realize the dangers of seeing yourself as cubic zirconium, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with cubic zirconium, but like, you're a diamond, you know? You have to see your truth, your authentic self. So let's see how month 2 moves into month 3. Ooh, okay. So we have the high priestess. I almost said the higher priestess. Oh shit, those are titties. Okay. All right. Let's fix that. Let's just put a shell on there. It's always a wild nipple that gets me in trouble. But clarifying that, we have the blue morpho butterfly, embrace change, transformation. Wow, okay. So this is really powerful. I feel like month 2 is a lot more about action taking in the physical world that aligns with the truths that you discovered in month 1. But month 3 is about going within again. And also I think that you're going to be having, you don't even have to consciously go within. I think you're going to be having a lot of powerful downloads, a lot of powerful truths about where you're headed next, about what's happening for you. If you felt really disconnected from your spiritual self, I feel like by month 3, you're going to be feeling really reconnected to that and just connected to your deeper truths. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of wisdom that you're integrating from this past greater cycle that you've been in. Like, you know, whatever you're currently in and whatever you've been dealing with, I think that month 3, there is a full circle moment where you're really integrating the lessons of this time and kind of realizing maybe the things that you were shaming yourself for, the things that you thought were wrong, were actually just things trying to get your attention, and things that had wisdom for you. And so month 3, I think, is definitely like a beautiful opportunity for you to truly embrace this new trajectory that you're heading in. You know, we have change and transformation, and I feel like for some of you, you might really be going within during this time and kind of continuing this, you know, moving in silence energy, which is kind of funny because I feel like people who move in silence can't stop talking about that and share with everyone how they're moving in silence. But we love that for them, you know, move in noise and silence. But I feel like you're actually moving in silence. And I think that there is a level of reconnection to your own intuition where you're knowing what needs to happen to continue these transformations. And I think that you're undergoing the powerful process of trusting whatever this transformation is asking of you. So if it's asking you to really just take a step back from the chaos of life and maybe be more internal for a while, you know, that's happening. If you're being called to kind of share more of your inner world, like this high priestess doesn't have to be you hiding, you know, the butterfly is all about the end of the transformation. And I feel like maybe you could be stepping into yourself in a more authentic way that is more spiritual, that is more occult, esoteric, and that makes you realize, like, you had a better grasp of yourself this whole time. Oh, and is that an eclipse right there that I see, or am I wrong? I don't know. It could be something else. But I feel like you're stepping into a level of nakedness with the divine, where a lot of what held you back from embracing this transformation in the first place, you realize was just a shedding process that needed to happen anyway, and that nothing really truly was going wrong. You weren't messing anything up. And I think that there's a reconnection to your confidence where you're realizing, like, oh wow, I really do got me. Like, you've got your own back more than you realize. And I think that maybe even through this greater cycle that you've been in, like, there's been a lot of self-doubt, but maybe there's been a part of you that's been like, I know that whatever's going to happen, it's going to be okay. And like, I know that these changes are leading to something greater. And I think that in month 3, you're getting even more answers. And these answers, I think, are related to questions that you may not even have right now. They may be questions being posed to you that you get to discover the answers. I think what's really cool about a reading like this, and you know, the situation of this being a general reading, is that the semantics of how this applies to your life specifically, is different from so many other people. So forgive me if the vagueness makes it hard for you to know like what explicitly might happen. But I think that vagueness is important because whatever is being cultivated is not yet meant to have shape. It's coming into form right now. And I feel like you're going to be feeling by month 3, by the end of month 3, you're going to be feeling reconnected to yourself in a way that you're like, was I ever truly connected to myself before? Like, I feel like in some ways it'll be a relief because it's almost like a coming home to yourself. But in other ways, it's like, wow, this home looks different than how I remembered it. And maybe it's bigger. Maybe there's a new wing. Maybe it's prettier than you remembered. And I think that there's a lot of self-love that's happening here, and greater trust, and whatever wisdom is coming to you in month 3, I think it's not only benefiting your transformation, but it's supporting what you're creating. It's leading you to deeper truths that I think you're going to share, with others, or share with those who need to hear it. I also think these greater truths could be leading you to service in some way. Whatever service means for you. And service doesn't have to be traditional. Like, we all serve in our own ways. But month 3, you're getting direction that's not actually from the divine, but that's within you. Which I guess actually it is from the divine, because you're divine and everything is one, and we're all connected, and you are feeling very connected to the divine. But I feel like there is just a level of like sovereignty and autonomy in the changes that happen month 3 and onward. Like, I feel like the transformation, and I feel like what this Judgment card is the beginning of this transformation, the beginning of the powerful truths. It makes me think of like the hero's journey, and I feel like this Judgment card is like the call to action. That begins things. I mean, I haven't seen the hero's journey in a long time, so I could be butchering it and be completely wrong. But like, this feels like more like a call to action and those powerful truths that you need in order to start getting things moving. The interesting thing is that I feel like with month 2, there is this regrouping where you're looking at what already exists in a more grounded and practical way, where you realize you're in a more solid position than you thought you were. And then month 3, there's this like, after you're kind of grounded and regrouping and changing things, changing your process, you're stepping into this change in a way where you're like, okay, let's see where this change takes us. Let's see where this transformation takes us. And I think that there's this powerfully intimate process happening with yourself where you're watching and feeling and experiencing these changes and falling in love with who you're becoming, and falling in love with like how you can be you in so many different ways. And I think also just feeling the love that exists around you, especially from the universe, that it's like, okay, like, you've had me in this process, and now I understand why, and now like you've given me these answers, and now I can go start asking questions. Now I can start exploring. And I definitely feel like this month 3 will be a time of integration before forward movement. But whatever movement does occur after month 3, I think it is led by you, led by what feels true to you. And I do feel like maybe one of the powerful things happening here is your mind is changing in ways where you're thinking more about what's best for you. You're no longer considering a lot of unhelpful and unhealthy opinions or belief systems that maybe held you back and led you to confusion in the first place. And I think you're just reconnecting to your own divinity in a way that allows you to just be your authentic self and share that gift with the world, because we need people in their authenticity. We need people sharing their truths. We need people showing up as they truly are. And I think one of the most important things about, you know, authenticity is that it's a process. And I think that you're moving through a really powerful process right now. And by month 3, you're really going to be feeling like, wow, okay, I don't know anything, and that's okay, because everything is okay. And I know so much more. And now I feel like I know nothing, but I'm excited to see what I learn, and I'm excited to see where I go from here. You're definitely, you are definitely Miss Kelly Clarkson, and you are definitely breaking away from your past, and I love this for you. So let's go ahead and see what the deeper purpose of this time period is for you. And I will just mention, if you are enjoying this reading, or if you would like to support me in any way, thank you to everyone who leaves a little like on the video. That is one of the most helpful and supportive things that you can do for me and my channel. It's very easy. But other ways, you know, I would love to hear, like, you know, 3 months from now, I would love if you could come back to this and like let me know, you know, what happened. How did this apply for you? You know, what have you learned about yourself? Like, I would love to know that. And also, I just want you to know, like, I'm so happy for you. And you might be like, happy for what? And I'm just like, you'll see. Like, I don't even know what it is, but you'll see. Like, everything's gonna be just fine. Your song for the next 3 months is 3 Little Birds by Bob Marley, for sure. Okay. Spirit, what is the deeper purpose of this time period for pile 3, please? Okay. Wow. Okay, we have surrender, which I think is quite powerful. Surrender to what is, let go of what was, have faith in what will be. If you have picked this card, you are being guided to surrender. Surrender your worries, burdens, and control over outcomes, and just be with life in this present moment. By surrendering, you allow life to move forward naturally as it should. Resisting the natural cycles of life only causes anguish, frustration, and a feeling of constant struggle. I feel like that's what you've been in. Dear one, stop persisting in swimming the other way. When you push against life, life pushes back, and what you resist most will continue to exist in your life. Do you feel perplexed by the fall of autumn leaves? No. For there is trust in the natural cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. We too experience these cycles. However, most of us, getting a lisp all of a sudden. However, most of us live in a state of unawareness and resist the cycles of birth and death within them. This doesn't mean that you should quit, rather that you should make that decision to trust in the cycles of life. For when you are in acceptance of what is, you become more empowered to attract the outcome you desire. Acceptance does not mean giving up your power and light to another, allowing yourself to be ill-treated, or giving up on your dreams. Acceptance is giving up to your resistance to what is and allowing spirit to guide you and to do what needs to be done. When you surrender that tight hold you have on the situation and bring yourself to a place of inner peace, you will find that clarity. Solutions will appear and allow deeper wisdom to guide your way. Energy that was once spent on resistance will now be focused on projects that bring you joy. This will in turn attract the miracles and blessings you were hoping for. And the affirmation is, I surrender to this moment and trust in great spirit to guide my way. So the solar plexus could be a significant chakra to work with, which I think makes a lot of sense, you know, especially if you're working on confidence and self-esteem and your power of will. Remember the name. I'm hearing remember the name in my head right now, but we're gonna go ahead and look at your charms now and just kind of see if there's any extra messages, signs, symbols that could be significant to you. So I'm gonna close my eyes and we're just gonna ask about pile 3, Spirit. What signs, symbols, guidance, advice, any extra messages are symbolic for pile 3? Okay, wow. All right, you guys got a lot of these fortunes, so let's get these bad So we're starting with be an optimist. There does not seem too much use in being anything else. It's very, very true. And numbers are 7, 9, 2, 36, 23, 32. We have, as the purse is emptied, the heart is filled. Okay, so far, all of the fortune cookie messages have been accurate to what I've been talking about, and like I just feel so validated, and I've just never felt so validated in my love for Chinese food. Thank you, universe. Okay, well, American Chinese food. 34, 50, 43, 47, 1, 38. I feel like there's always a lot of 40s and 30s in the fortune cookie numbers. Don't build your happiness on others' sorrow. I could also take that as guidance to not people please. 43, 54, 38, 42, 20, 18. Pay attention. I'm not paying attention, so if you want to, pay attention to see if there's any repeating numbers in these messages that speak to you. Maybe those are specific numbers for you. Be calm when confronting an emergency crisis. So I don't really see like an emergency crisis happening, but like outwardly, but maybe you've been feeling an emergency crisis internally. And I think that this process of surrender is helping you be more prepared for that and accept that, because it's leading to powerful rebirth and transformation. Wow, okay, and so this one has a learn Chinese, and it's today. And I'm not even going to attempt to try to pronounce that. But the lucky numbers are 11, 43, 40, 19, 8, 4. And I think what's beautiful is that the word is today. And it makes me think of like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I feel like that is really what this month 1 is about, where you're stepping into authentic flow, where it's just like you're doing what feels right in the moment. You're not like putting things off. You're not even feeling the urge or desire to procrastinate, because everything is working out as it's meant to. Okay. We also have, if you have knowledge, let other light their candles by it. So I feel like you're already gaining that knowledge. And by month 3, I feel like you're gonna have a lot of powerful wisdom to share with your friends, share with your journal, share with the world, or just powerful wisdom that like becomes inspiration for others in the future. 31, 3, 50, 7, 17, 12. Be patient. The Great Wall didn't got built in one day. I like the typo in that. But yeah, you're a great wall, baby. And you take time to be built. We've got 8, 53, 42, 2, 51, 34. Oh my gosh, I think you guys got 10 of these. I feel like that's the most any have ever come out. The best exercise for the heart is to reach down and help someone up. So maybe in month 2, you might be discerning like what I think help can be very powerful and very like effective, especially and it can also just be healing, like to help others and be there for others. But I think that you're discerning like what is help that is like doable and what is pleasing. And I also think that you may be like regaining more energy to be there for others, like through this process of being there for yourself. Let's see what else. Education is the ability to meet life's situations. So you could argue the cycle that you're going through is just a process of education. And I burped a lot as I said that. So I feel like maybe you've had a really negative viewpoint or negative opinion of this current cycle that you've been in, and like believing that you're doing something wrong, or that it's been brought about as a result of your own failures, or that like, you know, your current state is it's entirely your fault and a moral failing on your part. And I think that this cycle is leading you to learning that not only is that not the truth, but like these are cycles that just happen in life, and that's okay. We also have all things are difficult before they are easy. And yeah, like that makes me think of the hardest part is getting started. And so to trust in yourself before before giving up. We have 5, 18, 13, 33, 55, 53. I feel like I missed out on some of the numbers. I think I kind of forgot. 55, 22, 54, 46, 4, 32. 39, 42, 52, 45, 20, 55. Wow, so 55 came out a lot. I think it was these 4. 8, 53, 42, 2, 51, 34. Okay, just making sure that I got those out. But see, there's a lot of 30s and 40s. Where's the 70? Where's the 60? But I felt called to interpret whatever this card is, these two together. Wow, okay. So with the 8 of Wands and Justice being here, I feel like any action you take will be rewarded. Like, you will reap what you sow. And I don't feel like that's meant in a bad way. I think that's meant in a positive way. I think you're gonna realize how powerful your actions are, and that it's actually really easy to take action when you have inspiration to come from, and you have a greater like energetic essence moving you, a greater inspiration moving you. But with Justice as well, you could be getting offered like contracts or any changes that you make as a result of these transformations. Like, you could be getting lots of opportunities coming your way. I also think that this time period for you is a process of becoming more fair to yourself and recognizing how you've been unfair to yourself, and how maybe that stopped you from taking action, maybe how you've kind of suppressed yourself. And with this 8 of Wands here, I feel like things are going to be moving quite quickly after these next 3 months, because like you are entering this powerful process of surrender and flow where you're not swimming against the current anymore. But we also have melancholy. We have melancholy. So if you've been feeling a state of melancholy, I just want you to know, like, that's not happening forever, and that I'm sorry you're feeling that way, and to just know that it's not going to be here forever, and that in fact powerful changes are coming for you. They're coming for you whether you like it or not. Joy and love and self-exploration are coming, baby. So you better get ready. Fuck yeah, baby. We also have never stop. So I definitely think that you're really being asked to not give up on where you're headed and what has meaning to you, and don't let fear stop you now. Don't let fear get in your way, because you've got a powerful future ahead of you, and even though you might feel lost from yourself right now, you'll find yourself real soon. We also have this little camper. So maybe camping is something that you might want to consider, or maybe spending time out in nature, especially in month 2 and 3. Well, actually, I guess it could apply for month 1 as well. You know, maybe nature is a great source of inspiration. So like month 1, it can make sense as a place for inspiration and gaining creativity. Month 2, it seems like it might be a great tool for remaining grounded, for taking time to self, and kind of quieting the noise so that you can really focus on the decisions that are right for you, and focusing on taking the action that is supportive and nourishing. And for month 3, I think it's a powerful opportunity to connect with the divine through nature. You know, I think, you know, one of the ways we can be closest to the divine on earth is to just be outside and be in nature. So I feel like that could be very powerful for you. But we also have this up pin, which I just heard, like, and I've actually never gotten this interpretation before, but there's nowhere to go from here but up. And I feel like that's one thing you need to know, is that like you're moving upwards, and that you definitely should trust yourself. And also, you know, the quote from the movie, adventure is out there. I feel like you're headed into a beautiful adventure that I feel like you couldn't even anticipate. And you might feel really old on the inside right now, and I feel like you're reconnecting to your spirit in a way where you're realizing, like, man, that was not me. And you might also have compassion for a lot of people that are stuck in that state, that haven't been able to get out, where you realize, like, yeah, it's very human to lose ourselves, and it's very human to feel upset about that and feel lost and compare ourselves to others that do feel passion, that do feel, you know, excited about things. Like, I feel like you might be realizing, like, you know, how fallible we are as people, and how easy it is to get lost in confusion and not self energy. And I think you're going to be realizing, like, how powerful it is to just have compassion for others without questioning why they're that way, and to just recognize, like, man, it happens to all of us, and not take it as, you know, something that because those are the types of people that you might meet resistance with, or that might tear you down, or that might not support the changes that you're making. But that is such a clear reflection of their own insecurities and their own feelings of inadequacy and their own discomfort around others growing and others stepping into authenticity in a way that they haven't in a long time. But finally, we have the letter Z and the letter N. So makes me think of New Zealand. So New Zealand could be a significant country, but the letters N or Z, but actually you could turn the Z on its side and it looks like another N. So double N's could be significant. The name Zane seems significant, or like Zane Grey. Is he like an actor or a cowboy or something? I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, those two letters could be significant. But pile 3, that's what I have for you guys when it comes to the next 3 months. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That was a weird breath. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and show appreciation for my channel, so thank you very much to everyone who does. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, you can check out my candles, you can check out my social media, you can check out my other videos, especially ones with extendeds. But that's all I have for you guys, so thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful 3 months, and I can't wait for you to discover how badass you actually are. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 4. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose Kuromi and the Moon Witch Oracle, this is going to be your reading on the next 3 months and what these next 3 months have in store for you. So at this time, I almost started saying my little ritual thing that I do before every reading. Excuse me, but I guess at this time we're gonna start the reading. But if you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro, but just to remind everyone that the future is never set in stone, can always be changed, but this is the most likely outcome based on your current energies. And I also want to remind everyone that this video is timeless, so the next 3 months that I'm talking about are not the 3 months after I upload this video. They are the next 3 months after you discover this video. So month 1 will represent the month after the month you're currently in. So for example, I am in the month of September, so month 1 for me would be in October. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so pile 4. Spirit, what does month 1 have in store for pile 4, please? I like that rhymes. Month 2, Spirit, what does pile 4 have in store for month 2? And month 3, please. What does pile 4 have in store, for month 3? Okay. And then let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. I forgot where I put. Okay, bottom of the deck energy is the King of Swords, which is really interesting because that was the bottom of the deck energy for another group as well. And Diana, be one with nature. So I definitely think if there is an encompassing theme just before we even start, I do think that these next 3 months do have a theme about reconnecting to self and also finding the strength to live in integrity with what's true to you without what's the right word? Without I guess there's like a filtering process happening where you're discerning what's true for you without cultural, social lenses that typically shift what is true for us. That can be stifling to the spirit or stifling to the self, but I hope that makes sense. But let's go ahead and start by looking at month 1. Let me make sure everything is, yes, okay. So month 1, pile 4, We have the Knight of Cups, Enamored, Bewitched, Enthusiasm, and we have Lunar Eclipse, Open the Door to a Higher Dimension. I feel like it just moved the selenite and that's gonna bother some of you. Okay. Okay, hello, I love this. Next month, pile 4, you can expect a shift. I'm hearing that Dandelion song that was really popular on TikTok, and really every short form content platform. The song's like, the lyrics go like, I'm in a field of dandelions wishing on everyone that you would be mine. So there could be a romantic aspect to this, but I feel like this is about like, I feel like the song came through more specifically because of the feeling that it evokes. Like there's this kind of whimsical, serendipitous feeling that the song has that's just very light and uplifting and romantic. And I feel like that is an energy that you are experiencing in month 1. I definitely feel like a dramatic shift is happening. If you've been in a more cynical state of mind, or if you've been kind of stuck in a rut, I can definitely see that there's dramatic shifts happening that are leading you to act with more serendipity, more emotional fulfillment, and moving towards what feels good to you. This could also have to do with a romantic interest or someone that you can be romantic with, in the sense that like for example, my friend Haley and I, like, we both love Barbie movies, and shout out to Haley. I love her. She's my moon girl on Instagram. She's awesome. You guys should follow her if you've never checked her out. She's an awesome astrologer. But we both love like Barbie movies and things like that, and it's like we can romanticize life together, you know what I mean? And I really like love that aspect of our friendship. And so like you could have a situation like that where you are, you know, romanticizing life with someone else, or just finding life to be more whimsical and enjoyable, but also just taking action that fulfills you and feels good. I feel like you're going to be having more excitement for what's to come. And I think what's really interesting is the shifts that are happening are not a result of your actions. It seems like the shifts that are happening are on the universe's part, energies changing, doors opening up. But then the shifts that are happening energetically are giving you the momentum, the inspiration, and the upliftment to take these actions that are, you know, fulfilling to your heart, that are more whimsical and romantic and exciting. I definitely think that if this is related to romance in any way, I'm having trouble speaking in this group, then you are going to be like you could be looking at love differently. Like you could be looking at it from a more evolved perspective, or you could be reaching a more evolved place with someone, or stepping into a new stage or phase in your romantic life, whether you're dating or seeing someone, or maybe, you know, if that hasn't even been on your plate, maybe that is opening up for you in a way where like you might be sitting here right now being like, girl, I don't give a shit about love and I don't even want to hear about it. And then next month you're going to be coming back to my channel to check out some love readings, which I love doing love readings. So I hope to see you there. But I do feel like there could be just this like, whoa, like this full 180 where you go from, it reminds me of The Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy's transitioning into Oz, and the screen transitioning, she's walking into Oz, and the screen transitions from a black and white screen to a full color screen, and it's like, you know, a lot more whimsical. So I feel like there could be this shift where it's just like what once was gray is now, you know, filled with color, and now it's like everything is changing, but this is like very exciting. I definitely think one of the things to pay attention to in the next month is that the Knight of Cups is also a lot about like things that are in the moment. So I definitely don't think this like whimsical romanticizing energy is going to last forever, like permanently, indefinitely. I definitely think it is a mindset that you are going to be exploring, and an energy and a feeling that you're going to be exploring, and it's going to be very beneficial for you in ways where you learn to take what is beneficial and discard the rest. you know, because like obviously romanticizing your life is a beautiful, wonderful thing, but sometimes it can lead to unrealistic expectations, or like, you know, it can just leave us like not seeing things clearly. So, but the cool thing here is that I do think whatever shifts are happening that are propelling you into this more romantic viewpoint of yourself, of life, of the world, of relationships, it is leading to, for some of you, I feel like it's leading to a reclamation of romantic energy and just softness within you that maybe you've had a hard time embodying or embracing because you've needed to protect yourself and felt like it wasn't safe to look at the world that way, or you didn't want to look at the world that way and be disappointed. I feel like this is a time, like this next month, you're going to be experiencing it more intensely, especially if you have been, it's kind of like you're going from one end of the spectrum to the other. And like part of the purpose of this is to hopefully help you find a happy medium where you can kind of integrate like both into your life. So, you know, if you have this very like practical, straightforward, kind of protective viewpoint of the world that can be very like, you know, gray or black and white, or I feel like you're shifting into this, oh, anything is possible, romantic, like, wow, like over here is okay, over here is la 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 la, you've been in okay, you're moving to la la la, and at some point you're gonna shift into okay, la la, like you're gonna have both. I feel like this is actually really good. But I think that this time is going to be very powerful for you. Like your emotions are going to be overflowing. You might find that your sensitivities are heightened during this time. Like things that wouldn't typically move you to tears, or things that you wouldn't be affected by are, you know, affecting you quite deeply. Don't shame yourself for that. Actually, I think it's a very beautiful experience to be moved by things deeply. And I think that you have the opportunity to see the depth of sensitivity within you that you're unable to explore when you're kind of shut off from the more sentimental, emotional parts of yourself. So I do think that this is actually a very beautiful, powerful opportunity. If you are meeting someone, I do think that this could be, you know, quite a like comes out of nowhere, sweeps you off your feet situation. We got to look at the rest of the cards, but what I will say with the Knight of Cups just in general, do have to kind of be a little bit careful, because the Knight of Cups, while the Knight of Cups can be quite romantic and very full of life and very like full of wonderful feelings, the Knight of Cups is moved by feelings. So if those feelings change or if they dissipate, you know, they may move to what moves them elsewhere. I'm not saying that this person will do this if you are meeting someone like that. I'm just saying like this is definitely a situation where you don't want to do too much too soon, or like fall into a situation where you're not at the very least like, I feel like this is just a caution. Like if you do meet someone, like make sure you kind of take your time and not make any hasty or extreme decisions during this time, just because like the experience and the emotions will be powerful and quite positive, but they're not like forever, in the sense that at the very least, like think about it as a honeymoon phase, you know, which I mean, I believe that there are relationships where like, you know, you can have a honeymoon phase for a long time, or you can have that honeymoon phase like permanently or reconnect to that. I feel like love and relationships are so different for everyone, but I do feel like there's kind of like a honeymoon phase that you're entering, like with yourself and your life and your perspective, and it could be with another person, and it's definitely very important for you to experience. But if you're in that energy and you're expecting it to last like permanently, it's definitely not going to last permanently without conscious intention and maintenance of it. Like you're going to have to consciously cultivate a more romantic view of the world and continue upkeeping that after the energy dissipates. But like I feel like this is a very powerful opportunity for you to learn a lot about yourself and kind of just embrace the opportunities that life has for you, and embrace those feelings of romance, of connection, of excitement, of infatuation, of passion. And whether that is with another person or just with life in general, I definitely think that this is a very beautiful time that you should savor. Like don't let your logical mind like shit all over it. You're gonna have to kind of walk a fine line between embracing that feeling and not like pushing it away, But I do really like this energy. I feel like it's gonna be quite refreshing. Like if you've been parched, I feel like this is gonna be the wonderful glass of water that is just very satisfying and hydrating. For some of you, if you are already in a relationship with someone, you could be just entering like a deeper phase of romance with them, or just like rekindling romance, or just like, you know, experiencing a lot of like romantic experiences with them during this month, and just things are really great and really loving and very sweet. But overall, you're definitely being led by your heart in the next month. And I think that one of the powerful things that's going to happen is you're going to see where your heart's been neglected, and where, you know, maybe you can integrate more choices that support your heart without abandoning or betraying yourself, or leaving your heart vulnerable and exposed in ways that are unnecessary. But, you know, like I said, coming into a balance where, you know, both your mind and your heart are considered, and, you know, logic and emotion, you know, have a place. And I feel like what's really happening is you're going to be like, wow, like I forgot what it was like to feel excited about something. I forgot what it was like to feel butterflies. I forgot what it was like to feel, to like look at flowers and be awed by their beauty. Like that's really the energy that I see you being in. And I feel like there's just this beautiful energy where that black and white vision is turning full Technicolor, baby. And you're like, wow, okay. There's so much that like you're gonna be seeing, like there was so much in front of you and within you that you weren't seeing before, and these energy shifts are gonna help you with that. Okay, let's see what month 2 has in store. Wow, okay, we have the Chariot and we have Sekhmet. So this is really interesting. I'm gonna start with romantic interpretations, especially if you're meeting someone that kind of sweeps you off your feet. So I do feel like if things continue, one of the biggest challenges will be dealing with your insecurities when it comes to opening yourself up to vulnerability and opening yourself up to someone that you have feelings for. I can definitely see you moving forward with what could happen between you and them, but also trying to remain tempered in that process, remaining balanced, and really being challenged to look within and say, okay, what within me is wanting to run away from the situation? What within me is making me feel like it's not okay to explore this, or it's not safe, or it's gonna blow up in my face? Is that just past experience, or is it wounding? I definitely think no matter what, this month 1 energy is very powerful because it's getting you into a position to move forward in a way where you're less blocked by your own wounding and insecurities. So month 2 is definitely, I can see like there's a coming back to equilibrium energy here. The Chariot is a lot about balance. In the normal Rider-Waite tarot, the Chariot is pulled by 2 titty sphinxes. And yes, they are titty sphinxes. You can Google it. And one is a white titty sphinx and a black titty sphinx. And so I feel like, you know, you're kind of coming back into balance with yourself and seeing how both mentalities that you've been cultivating are, how they can work together and work in tandem, and how you can use them to work better together. I definitely think month 2 is a time of forward movement. If you, whatever action you're taking in month 1, it's definitely not like action that has profound change, but you're being led to actions and inspiration that brings, that gives you, that just prepares you to take action that could bring profound change in month 2. With the Chariot, there's a lot of forward movement here. Whatever you're working towards seems to be moving towards success. In fact, like the example of a romantic interest is coming through again. And I do feel like there, especially like you could be taking things slow or being cautious, and like there's nothing but green flags and things are going well, but you still want to run in the opposite direction. And I feel like that is really where you are being called to look at, okay, why? What within me is holding me back? But this doesn't have to apply to romantic relationships. It could be towards anything, you know? If you are like, maybe for example, one of the things you realize is like, I want to move, like I want to be in a different place. Month 2, that's where these plans come into action. That's where like you are facing your fears and facing what has been holding you back, and recognizing like, wow, okay, there's never going to be a right time for this. There's never going to be a right time for this to happen. Nothing is ever going to feel fully right. Like, I'm always going to be a little bit afraid. I'm always going to be a little bit uncertain. I'm always going to have my doubts. I'm always going to have certain, like, there's always going to be something that could be a reason to say no. That could be a reason to stay small. That could be a reason to keep things the same. And I feel like month 2 is about you pushing through that and recognizing the power in stepping into your courage, and recognizing like it does take courage to move towards the unknown. It does take courage to move towards what has meaning for you. And I feel like whatever you are moving towards in month 2, it is very meaningful for you, and it does have a lot, it is meant for you. Like it's wherever you're headed, whatever you're feeling drawn towards and what you want to move towards, like that is meant for you. And I feel like this month 1 is setting you up to have faith in that. Month 1 is all about exploration so that you can take that action in month 2. Sekhmet could be a significant goddess that you might be working with. You might have her protection. But I also think that this is a powerful time where you're also learning to trust yourself, and trust that if you're being called towards a specific place, there's a reason, or that if something is happening in your life, like it's here for a reason. There's a lot of momentum in month 2. I wouldn't be shocked if you are busier in month 2. I feel like whatever free time you have in month 1 is going to be spent doing things they could be random, but they're fun and uplifting. Whereas in month 2, I feel like a lot of your free time is taken up by a greater goal that you either discovered in month 1, or a greater goal that you've already had, but whatever energies and experiences of serendipity, whimsy that you had in month 1 are giving you greater insight in month 2 on how to take action towards these greater goals. So month 2 is definitely more about the bigger picture, whereas month 1 is about the present moment. Month 2 is also about the bigger picture and your relationship to it. How much are you embodying this future picture that you're seeing? Where are your insecurities lying, and what is making you want to run in the opposite direction? What is making you feel like you're not ready? What is making you feel like you still need more time, and that you need, because you don't? Like, month 2 is the time to really just move forward. I also think what's really beautiful is that there's another deck called the Everyday Witch Tarot. It's a pretty common one. I'm sure you've come across it. I've used it plenty of times. The Knight of Cups in that deck is riding a dolphin. So I just kind of love that. And I feel like if you've been trying to move towards this big picture already, like for example, maybe the big picture is a big move somewhere, or the big picture is having a romantic relationship or something like that. Maybe the big picture is something you've already been working on, like, if you're getting a degree or trying to get a promotion or something like that. It's like you're really truly going for it in month 2 and taking that action, whatever that may be. And I can see that you're really being encouraged to leave leave it all out there. Like, do it big. Whole ass it. Don't half-ass it, whole ass it. Like, I feel like you're really being called to, like, just step into this, like, courage of, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if this is the right choice for me, but my heart is leading me here. My mind is on board, and I'm ready to go. Like, I definitely think that there's also a level of discipline that you are bringing back into the fold. Like, if you're typically a more disciplined person, you might not even recognize yourself in month 1, because it's like that might kind of go to the wayside, and you might feel kind of guilty about that. But I think it's gonna feel so good. You'll be like, whatever. Don't let yourself feel guilty about it, by the way. It feels good to just be in the moment and flow, and you deserve that. But month 2, I feel like, you're regaining the reins in a way where you have a healthy amount of self-control and discipline that helps you, that gives you a lot of forward momentum. But that is not eclipsing your basic needs. And your own connection to self. So there's this really cool thing happening in month 2 where you're experiencing a lot of forward progression and movement externally and internally. I mean, you don't have to internally, but if you don't do the internal work, externally it's going to be harder to move forward. So it's like you're in full alignment with yourself in a way where it's like, it's not like you're eradicating your fear or getting rid of insecurities or things like that. I mean, I think that it can be healing to face them or not listen to them, but it's almost like you're coexisting with them and being like, okay, yep, you're here. You're a passenger on this ride, but we're still going there. Like, and then you may realize they might hop off the chariot because you realize they didn't need to be there in the first place. Month 2 is very powerful, and like there's genuinely nothing that can stop you. Like when I think about Sekhmet, like she's a very powerful goddess and not one to be trifled with. And I think that there is a level of respect for yourself that is going to translate for others. Like if anyone tried you during month 2, I don't envy them. Like I don't think it will end well for them. Maybe you wouldn't even acknowledge them, but I feel like even not acknowledging them would be like a blow to those individuals. But even if you're not making a big change, maybe the big picture is just a better mindset or a lifestyle that is more sustainable for you, or a lifestyle that just fits the person you've become. Like that is where you're going, that is where you're heading. And I think it's going to be undeniable after month 1, like where truth is for you, what alignment is for you, and what is supportive for you, and you're moving towards that quite rapidly, I think, depending on how much you're willing to embrace these changes and how much you're willing to embrace forward movement. I think the biggest thing that could hold you back is fear that you're unworthy of it. And I'm here right now to say, stop it. You are worthy. You're so worthy. And if you really need help with that, please do. But I think this is a very powerful energy in month 2. And I feel like I'm not even doing it justice. You know what's really cool as well is that there's like this kind of North Star in both of these cards. So it's like you're following your true north. You may want to look at your North Node. Maybe this Chariot energy is connected to your North Node. Our North Node represents what we are meant to head towards in this lifetime. So like, for example, my North Node is in Virgo. So I'm meant to move towards like things like more routine and service and like earthly connection and organization and like stuff like that. And so, you know, whatever your North Node is, whatever house it's in, whatever sign it's in, you may want to look at that, because that could give you a better idea of the big picture, especially maybe if you don't have much of a big picture, you just know you're meant to go somewhere and you have no clue what the destination is. And I feel like there's also a message here in that where it's like you don't have to have, like, the final destination is way in the future. Like you just have to get moving. Like, life's about the journey, not the destination. So, you know, this is really about you stepping into your journey in a way where you're not focused on the destination. You're just focused on how you're getting there and how it's like, well, I guess there's a lot of mini destinations in life, right? So like, I guess you're focusing on your next definite, like if the big picture is your next destination, like that's what you're focusing on. Your next checkpoint, your next chapter, if you will. But this is a powerful time where you're really facing what has held you back in the past, and you have powerful opportunities to change that and move forward and let go of what has been making you feel stuck and making you feel trapped. So let's go ahead and look at what's going on in month 3. So we have the 10 of Swords, painful ending, trauma, crisis, okay? And we have yes, just go for it. Okay. I actually want to get a clarifier for that, because I feel like some of you were like immediately freaked out, and I don't want you to be. I also feel like there are some interpretations from the 10 of Swords that are like, this deck is definitely interpreting the 10 of Swords as quite extreme. But can we clarify this 10 of Swords? Spirit, what is this 10 of Swords about for pile 4, please? Wow, okay, we have contact, 3D contact, interdimensional beings, light wave activation, cosmic downloads. So, okay, interesting. So, for some of you, there could be an ending of a certain belief system in month 3 that you no longer need. I feel like this 10 of Swords, you know, might be hard, but it's overall positive. It's like something needs to end in order for you to say yes to something else. It's like maybe you always knew the big picture required this of you, but now that it's happening, it's like too real. Like, it's making me think back to the Oz example of like, Dorothy doesn't stay in Oz forever. She comes back home. She comes back to reality and realizes there's no place like home, and says yes to home, right? When in the beginning of the movie, all she wanted was to leave. And like, we don't blame her for that. As a Midwest girly, she lived in the Midwest. Who can blame her? But I definitely think that there could be a painful ending of like certain people being in your life and you needing to be okay with letting them go, because maybe they've been suppressive to your spirit or suppressive to forward movement. It's making me think of a situation in the book and television series My Brilliant Friend, but like, I kind of don't want to. One of the characters makes like a profound decision to leave one situation in order to pursue what is for her, even though it doesn't necessarily work out for her. But it's a painful ending that leads to what she actually wants. And I feel like in your case, the way that would apply is, I feel like there is some sort of thing you have to let go of in order to truly step into what you want. So for example, maybe like this is moving, like the 10 of Swords. It's like an ending of, you know, what used to be, or maybe you have to make a radical change. This could also be like, you know, if you are involved with someone and they're not meant to be around forever, like and maybe they've just come in to teach you something and help you realize like it's okay to get swept up in something. Like, you'll survive and you'll actually learn a lot about yourself, and it'll be worth it in the process. But I'm not saying that is what is going to happen. The 10 of Swords can be really hard because it's a permanent ending of some kind. So I do think you could be letting go of some kind of connection to something in the material world. So whether it is a place, a group, a workplace, certain types of people, a way of looking at the world, a way of living, you're ending something to say yes to what is actually meant for you. And I feel like if for some of you, it feels like it's a long time coming, like that you're ready to leave this, it's just bittersweet or it's hard. I'm feeling really called to say like it will be worth it. I also think that this will be a situation where it will affirm like the balance energies that need to happen, like where you're seeing like, okay, like I'm really glad that I didn't fully get swept up in this energy because it wasn't meant to stick around forever. And so for some of you, you could have a romantic fling with someone that brings you. I actually have an example of this in my personal life. I briefly dated someone in 2020 who was very impactful because they were the person who told me to quit my job and do YouTube full time. And shout out to them. We're still friends. But talk a lot about people in my life. So in this reading for some reason, but it's like, you know, it wasn't meant to be a forever thing, but it was very powerful and it was a very necessary experience to get both of us where we actually needed to be. It's like we you know, it was like divine redirection. And so it could be a situation like that where, you know, you have this brief but impactful experience with someone that helps you say yes to life. It makes me think of, like, for example, Titanic. Like, you know, Jack and Rose have quite a short romance, but her life changes fundamentally. And actually, you can literally see the plot of Titanic in these cards. Like, Rose meets Jack and they're both swept up in this like romance. like this Knight of Cups to me makes me think of the scene when they're in third class and they're like dancing together and having so much fun. And then the Chariot is making me think of like, you know, when they're running away from like her fiance's henchmen, and like they're running around all over the ship, and you know, and then that pivotal moment in the movie where, you know, she says to Jack, like, when the boat docks, I'm getting off with you. Like, that is a Chariot moment. Like, that's her taking her life into her hands. And that's usually where I stop the movie, because they live happily ever after. Sometimes though, I just watch the other half if I'm really feeling like shit. So, you know, works both ways. It's all about balance, right? But then, you know, the ending is quite horrible and quite sad. But you know, Rose lives a life on her own terms. She lives a life of sovereignty. She lives a life that she could have never lived if she adhered to what she was supposed to, and if she had done what her family wanted her to do. So I feel like this is a very, like, and I'm not saying this is going to be Titanic levels of tragedy, but, you know, I do see this unfoldment of something very powerful, very serendipitous, that moves you towards your destiny, but that is either ephemeral and not meant to stay with you on that journey, or it's something that in order to fully step into this journey that you're being redirected towards, you have to say goodbye to something that you've cared about, or that has mattered to you, that, you know, may be hard to let go of. But it is all leading to this beautiful rainbow. Like, it's leading you on the path that you want to go. And I actually feel really called for you guys to ask, like, what you're being led towards as a result. It's hard to get the Ten of Swords. I understand that. What is this month 3 leading to? Four of Cups. Well, I definitely think it's leading to a profound shift. You're gonna have to give me more than that though. King of Swords. Okay, interesting. There's definitely a lesson here that's happening where you're recognizing that even when you're following your deepest dreams or your deepest callings, there isn't always a feeling of full fulfillment. And there is a level of needing to say no so that you can say yes. There's also a level of, I feel like you're going to be recognizing how apathy can shift your perspective. You may want to check out pile 1, because pile 1 started with the Four of Cups. So maybe pile 1, if you want to know what might happen in the next 6 months, if you feel called to, ask yourself, whether you have a pendulum or just ask yourself intuitively, like, is pile 1 for me? I feel like you'll know yes or no. Maybe that will give you a better idea of beyond these 3 months, like after month 3, you know, pile 1 could serve as month 4, month 5, month 6. So maybe if you're wondering where you're headed, that could give you some answers. But I definitely think that you're really stepping into your power in a way where you're finding more balance within yourself, and, you know, you're experiencing one of the hard truths of life that, you know, it seems like we can't really ever have everything that we want. And sometimes in order to have, like, there's always something, you know what I mean? Like, I think of that quote, when you're young, you have all the time and energy. When you're an adult, you have money and energy. You have time. When you're young, you have time and energy but no money. When you're an adult, you have money and energy but no time. And when you're an elder, you have money and time but no energy. It, like, makes me think of that. And that's not necessarily the truth for everyone, because I feel like a lot of people are like, I'm an adult and I have no energy, and I'm like, mood. But hopefully this is something where, you know, you realize, like, the path that has the most meaning for you is the one that's most worth it, and the sacrifices that you have to make to be on that path, you know, they hold meaning. And it makes me think about grief, and how, like, grief is an expression of the love that was there, and the love that still exists. You know, grief is love with nowhere to go. And I feel like there's this powerful process happening where you're recognizing the importance of choosing the present, choosing your authentic path, choosing what has meaning and forward momentum for you, instead of choosing a life that has no resonance for you, that doesn't speak to you, that is thrust upon you, or that is what others want for you. And I think that there's also actually one of the hard and powerful things about this is that you may be like, why did it take me so long to get here? You know, why did it take me so long to see these things about myself? Why did I put up with XYZ for so long? But more than anything, I definitely think that this Ten of Swords, I'm not going to lie to you, it might shake you a little bit, in the sense that you might not realize, like, it might not hit you until, like, after the ending has happened. Like you know how sometimes we can be nostalgic for something and then realize, like, we didn't appreciate it in the moment. You might be having that, or you might also be realizing, like, okay, like, there are sacrifices that I have to make in order to do what is true for me, and that's hard. And I feel like you're headed where you're meant to be. It's just, in order to get there, certain things have to be let go of, and in month 3 you're doing that. And I think that it's something that isn't easy, but it's what is meant to be. It's what is worth it to you. And as I always say, I'll never lie to you. So it might not be the best, most fun thing you've ever experienced, but it will be worth it, because you're being drawn towards that anyway. And the wisdom you'll gain from this, and the recognition of, like, I feel like you'll be more unapologetic about the path that you're on, and about your value, and about what you deserve, and about asking for it. It's making me think of that quote, that lyric from Marina and the Diamonds song Prima Donna, where she's like, get what I want because I ask for it, not because I'm really that deserving of it. I'm not saying that you're not deserving at all, but it's like, she's asking for what she wants because she wants it, not because she believes she deserves it. And maybe she even thinks she doesn't deserve it. But, like, I feel like in your case, you know, there's this recognition of, like, I've given up something, I've let go of something, I've had to leave something in order to make this happen. And I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to recognize that I deserve this. This is my chance. Like, and even if you still feel like you don't deserve it, recognize that, like, something was put on the altar for sacrifice in order to make this happen. And I feel like it will lead to more conviction in the path that you're choosing. And I feel like whatever is ending, whatever is leaving, it was meant to, and it has to, in order for you to get where you need to go. But just know that, like, it'll be so worth it. And I will, like, say, like, it might be possible that you feel a bit jaded or apathetic, or, like, processing it might be a little bit challenging, but like this Knight of Cups energy, that also won't last forever. And I do think that Spirit's being kind of mum about where you're headed, because I do think that there are beautiful things ahead that they want to surprise you with. And I think there's also this element of surprise, and this element of wanting you to trust in what's happening, and trust that whatever is leaving, like, it is making room for what is meant for you, and what is aligned with you now. And I feel like I feel like one of the things that might be hard, though, is just, you know, like the sadness and the pain and the struggle that is involved in that. But I do feel it will be worth it, and I do feel that you will come through this with, like, a very healthy and empowered mentality, where you are not delusional or cynical. Like, well, I guess cynicism is also delusional, but, like, you know, there's, like, a really rounded, well-balanced perspective you're coming into, where I feel like you're going to really trust your own ability to make decisions for yourself, because after you move through this, you're going to be like, okay, wow, I can handle anything, and I deserve to be unapologetic about what I want and where it is that I'm headed. I definitely think that you're going to be reflecting a lot on like the greater past, like the past year or so, and just like kind of reflecting on how you got here, and a lot of wisdom will come from that. And I just want you to know that like you're so powerful and you're so badass, and wherever you're headed, it's definitely meant for you, and it's definitely coming for a reason. And this Ten of Swords could even represent an ending of this Knight of Cups energy, just naturally occurring and being a part of your reality, and leading to you needing to cultivate that energy, or just taking action that cultivates it or helps you maintain a piece of it in the next in your life presently and in the future. So it may be that as it leaves your life, you may be worried like, oh, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did I mess something up? And you're going to realize like, no, I didn't. If I want to keep this mentality, if I want to keep this, idea, I have to cultivate it. I have to make room for it and keep space for it in my life and feed energy into it the same way I feed energy into other aspects of self. So there could be this like, did I do something wrong? Or like, why aren't I feeling this anymore? And there might be some doubt, but I think you'll realize like, yes, I made the right decision. Yes, I did the right thing. So let's go ahead and look at what the deeper purpose of this time period is, which I'm very, very intrigued to see what's going to come out for you guys. And if you're enjoying this video and you would like to, thank you to everyone who leaves me a little like. That is super helpful, and just a simple way to support me and show appreciation. So thank you to everyone who does that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for existing. Thank you for following your true north. Pile 4 spirit, what is the deeper purpose of these next 3 months for pile 4? What is the root of what is happening here? Wow, okay, we have choices and boobs. So the deeper purpose of this time period, pile 4, is boobs. We'll just censor her with this crystal that looks like France. Oui, oui. Which is so funny. Like, I just got that crystal because I liked it, and I realized one day, I'm like, wow, it looks eerily similar to France. Ha ha. Okay. So let's read choices. Let's see what this is about. To make your decision, ask yourself which experience best allows my... Oh, shit, there's more titties. Okay, fuck. And now I'm swearing, so now I'm just going to get in trouble again. All right, we'll just do that. Sorry for whatever methods I had to use to censor this. Okay. If you have drawn this card, you've come to a crossroads in your life where choices and decisions need to be made. This period can be quite challenging as you weigh your options. Your mind tells you one thing, yet your heart feels differently. The mind, with all its logic, reinforces your core beliefs in what is safe and secure, with creature comforts and stability. Your heart, on the other, pushes you to explore possibilities and adventures that seem all too foolish and irresponsible to the mind. Dearest one, your soul longs to grow, evolve, and expand into higher states of consciousness. Your heart knows this, as it is the guiding force within you. The mind is the vehicle that assists you in getting to where your heart needs to go. Are you growing in your current situation, whether it is in an influence or working environment, or does spirit have to bring outside influences such as changes in your working environment? Wow, okay, I feel so validated right now in my interpretations. If it is external experiences that are pulling at your heartstrings and not your current situation, then it's pretty clear that the place you are in is not serving your highest good. It may be serving you on a physical creature comfort level, but your heart and soul needs more. You need to be challenged and pushed to make breakthroughs. Why play it safe? You have one life to live, and the mission isn't to be too cautious. Our goal is to grow and expand. Closing doors in your life may not be easy. Trust your heart and inner guide that you are being taken somewhere beautiful. You are not alone. Divine guidance surrounds you continuously. And the affirmation is, I am courageous as I listen to the guidance from my heart. And I love this because I really think that this is all about you making these shifts. So I think month 1 is really about you exploring your heart and exploring what your heart has been trying to tell you. And months 2 and 3 are about actually implementing that and taking action and all that wonderful jazz. So let's go ahead now and get your charms and see what else we can get. So the charms are going to represent, signs, symbols, and just any other extra messages that you need to know about the 3 months. So my eyes are closed. Pile 4, spirit. What is happening for pile 4 in the next 3 months? What is symbolic? What is significant? for pile 4 in the next 3 months. Okay. We had one guy fall over here, and we have this. All right. So we have the Always Sleepy Club member. So one thing here is you might be extra tired during this time, or you might have your energy levels might fluctuate during this time, where you find that like sometimes you have tons of energy and tons of momentum, and then other times you're really drained and you just need to go within. I definitely feel like you're being encouraged to sleep and get as much rest as you can during these next 3 months, not only because that will help you have a clearer mind, but you could have wisdom to share, and there could be wisdom that the universe wants to share with you in your dreams, or there could just be like a level of regeneration happening where you feel more connected to yourself afterwards. Like, you know, a lack of sleep is one of the worst things that you can do for yourself. And naturally it's hard to embrace those it's hard to get enough sleep. It's hard to do that in today's world, but it's very important. And I feel like you're being encouraged to not stay in situations that drain you and exhaust you, and that's part of this process happening. We also have this 50-cent coin. Okay, for some reason I feel like a 50-cent song could be relevant to you. And I feel like whatever came to mind for you, that's the one. Or if you don't have a 50-cent song coming to mind, maybe you should go to like a playlist of 50-cent songs and see what comes through. It might not have anything deep and meaningful, but maybe it will, who knows? But also, you know, liberty in the coin I think is really symbolic. Like, I definitely think there is an element of liberation here. And I also think that the choices that you could be making could lead you to more abundance. We have the 9 of Cups and and I don't normally take these mini cards as reversals, but I feel like Justice does want to be reversed here. And I feel like this is a sign that like you're restoring balance and restoring justice in your life, and moving towards wish fulfillment in a way where it's like, I hate my brain. I'm just immediately going to 9/11 jokes because 9 of Cups and Justice is 11. 9/11 jokes could be significant. But, and maybe that there's like a Robert Pattinson 9/11 movie. I think it's called like Remember Me. Maybe that movie is significant to you in some way. But I definitely feel like this time period is about doing what's right for you, bringing life into alignment with yourself, and bringing balance by focusing on your own wish fulfillment. And I do feel like you are going to be satisfied. You are going to be fulfilled by the choices that you make. You're just going to recognize that, like, you know, what it took to get there, and there might be a grieving process, or there might be a feeling of bittersweetness or something like that you have to contend with. We also have Smile. It's the same in all languages. So, you know, you might just need to look at the positive, look at the bright side. Take that one as it resonates. I'm obviously not going to tell you to invalidate your state of being, but I've already mentioned this in another group, but the song from Annie that's like, you're never fully dressed without a smile, that song could be significant as well. We also have this world charm. So you could be called to travel to a different place in the world, a different continent, or maybe you could be called to explore different continents. Maybe you could go on a backpacking trip or something like that. But also I feel like there's this greater message here of remembering that, like, number one, you shouldn't have the weight of the world on your shoulders. Like, your path is enough. And I feel like one thing that that the universe wants to remind you of is, like, if you feel stuck in your current situation because you feel like if you leave or if you go somewhere else that you're doing a disservice to others, remember that they have their own journeys too, and there are tons of people in this world. Like, there's always something for someone, and, you know, what you choose to let go of, or what you are willing to say no to in order to say yes to what has meaning for you, like that, whatever you're saying no to, like, that also has the opportunity to receive what is more in alignment with it too. You're not only doing yourself a service, you're doing others as well. We also have this music note. So you could be getting a lot of messages in music, or music could have something to do with the path that you're headed in. Music could be something that is like a refuge or a way to like process things for you. I think if music is cathartic for you or supportive, definitely lean on that. And if your purpose, like if you're being drawn to do something with music, I feel like this is confirmation of that. We also have the banana. So bananas could be significant. You could be getting some bananas. You could feel bananas for the decisions that you're making. I'm also, okay, I'm thinking of like, a lot of you are not even gonna know what I'm talking about, because like I am referencing something, because a lot of you are not in the demographic to ever remember this. My dad used to watch this show. I think it had something to do with like, it was like a kid's show, and it was called like the Bananas or something. Like, were they like, I think they had like bananas in the title, but there was like this song and it was like, I can't sing it, but I don't know. If I'll Google it and I'll look for it and I'll put the title of it here. That could be significant for you. That's a very niche reference though, and probably only a small portion of my demographic will even know what I'm talking about, but hopefully they feel seen by it. The song is very catchy and very addicting. But yeah, I will not be singing it for you because I am not Kino Tarot and I do not have those vocal abilities, but you should, speaking of music careers, you should stream Kino Carry. Let's see, what else? I'm plugging all my friends in this reading. But I'm giving you all good stuff. So we've got Gemini and Virgo. So Gemini energy and Virgo energy could be significant. We have intelligent and practical. So I feel like intelligence and practicality are things that you already have in spades, but I feel like you're entering a more heartfelt time. People with Virgo or Gemini placements could be significant. These seasons could also be significant. Gemini season is like late May to mid to late June, and Virgo, we're currently in Virgo season as I'm filming this, which is like late August to like September 21st. So those periods of dates could be significant as well. Oh, and Kino has a song called Gemini, and I'm actually in it. So stream Gemini by Kino Carry. Okay, let's see what else. We also have this key. So I definitely think you're unlocking new realities. You're unlocking new possibilities and new pathways that you never thought were possible. I definitely think as well with the little pocket watch here that like these things have been happening in divine timing, and I think you're gonna realize like everything was aligned for a reason, everything was meant to happen for a reason, and that like you're not behind, you're not missing out, like everything is happening as it's meant to, and you're exactly where you need to be. And as you move through this process, to not stress, to not worry, like I feel like the next 3 months are not about time specifically, they're about your flow and about recognizing that like it makes me think of she's a queen, she's a legend, I can't believe I'm forgetting her name. A queen is never late, everyone else is simply early. Her name is not Julia Roberts, I know that. But I just have this defect in my brain where remembering people's names is impossible. Whoever Anne Hathaway is great. Like, she's a legend. I know who she is. I like just her name is evading me at this time. Is it Andrews? Julie Andrews? I don't know. I'm sorry. Some of you are like screaming. You can comment and correct me. But she's a legend. So I'm not. The point is, a queen is never late. Everyone else is simply early. Whether you are a king, a queen, or a gender-neutral monarch, just recognize that like everything's happening on your time, and don't let the pressures of time be something that make you feel like you have to make hasty decisions, or that you have to, push away what your flow is asking of you. Like, you definitely need to be, I think this term is going to affirm it. Yep, the pink, compassionate with yourself during this time where you really just honor your flow, even if it doesn't make sense to your logical mind, especially if you are used to making decisions from a practical standpoint and ignoring your heart, ignoring what you're being called towards. But I also think like there's this really cool experience that you're gonna have where I just feel like you're gonna become more like softer, and embrace that softness in a way where you realize like it's okay to be soft. Like there's strength in softness and it feels good to be soft. I also think wearing pink or just having more pink around you could be like just healing for you. I think colors can be quite healing, and depending on how sensitive you are, you can even notice a difference when you wear different colors. So maybe even if you're not a wearing pink type of person, maybe just having something pink around, or even just changing your phone background to something pink, you know, for a little while, and just seeing like how it changes things for you. But we also have this little mermaid tail, so I definitely think you're diving deep. Pisces energy could be significant. Pisces season is late February to mid to late March. That could be another season. I definitely think there's a lot of deep diving that you're going to experience after this process. But I'm also thinking of the movie Aquamarine simply because it's iconic. If there's a specific mermaid related thing that you thought of when I talked about mermaids that inspired you, take that. And I'm also getting this message that like, even if, no matter what you're experiencing, these next 3 months will be quite a tale. Get it? Yeah, you'll have stories to tell. And we also have this witch charm. So Halloween could be significant in some way, but also I feel like if you're called to do any sort of witchcraft, like obviously be careful, make sure it's in alignment with your heart. Make sure you know what you're doing, but you could be called to do that. But it's also making me think of Kiki's delivery service. I'm getting so much like media in your reading, so we're getting everything today. But yeah, maybe Kiki's delivery service is significant, or witchiness. Maybe you're coming out of the broom closet, or exploring witchcraft or Wicca or paganism or something like that. But also maybe you're facing your biggest fears. You know, we were talking about the Wizard of Oz earlier. And maybe throwing water on your own internal wicked witch and melting that bitch is helping you realize like, oh, I am brave and strong and I can do things, and I deserve them, and I will face my fears, but I will never forgive. Like I don't care if it's a fictional story. I will never forgive Oz's stupid ass making a little girl go and do his bidding for him. What a turd. Anyway. Okay, let's look at your little fortunes now. See what they say. Burnt bridges are hard to cross. And your numbers are 17, 19, 4, 1, 47, 46. I think this also came out in pile 1. So seriously, if you feel called to pile 1, please watch it, because I think there could be powerful messages for you there, and it could make a lot of sense. And we also have courage comes through suffering. And courage is already a word that we have here, and I do think that having the courage to let go of what isn't for you so that you can move towards what is, like, it takes a lot of courage. And the numbers here are 8, 21, 35, 53, 48, and 40. Whew. So pile 4, that is where I'm going to leave your guys' reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show support and appreciation for my channel, so thank you to everyone who does that. If you would like to show support in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, you can check out my social media, you can check out my candles, you can check out other videos, especially ones with extendeds. But that's all I have for you guys, so thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!